Hey guys, it wouldn't be a YouTube show if I did not have extreme technical difficulties. So bear with me, you guys. Let me know what city and state you're watching in. So I'm going to give you the good news and the bad news. The good news is that I have all brand new equipment. So we don't have to worry about glitching, Lord willing. But the problem is that I don't know my equipment that well. So I am struggling big time. Let me turn down this sound a little bit. Hopefully it's a little bit better for you guys. All right, so I can't see the comments on the screen. I have to toggle, so just be patient with me. I've got a cast of women ready to join the show, but before we do that, I want to get into our normal stuff to start off. Like I said, drop your city and state, and then I want to give you my mission. My mission is to teach people emotional intelligence. I think that so many people are not living their lives to their full potential. And so I want to teach people how to have self-discipline to be able to achieve the goals that they've always wanted. I also try to bridge the communication gap between men and women, and that's what tonight is going to be. I want guys to be able to understand the way we women think and what we want from dating, relationships, and just love overall. So if you guys are interested in that kind of good stuff, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel, obviously, that you're on right now is Chasing Yonci. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time new videos drop, which are Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then, of course, Sundays, I live stream. Same time every night. Hopefully every night I'm not running late like this. I have been lately. Anyway, last but not least, of course, I have to say a huge thank you to my patrons who support me every single month faithfully. It's awesome. If you would like to be a patron, you can do so at the web URL that's listed right there. Patreon.com/Yonci. All right, that was a lot. Okay, so we are going to get into my guests for today. And before we do that, I'm actually we're gonna go ahead and get this set up. You know, I love my my little graphics, you guys. But I'm gonna fix something really, really quick. All right, I think we got it. Okay, I can get my people now. Oh, y'all, that was a lot. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
I always feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack right before every single show because inevitably, no matter how much I prepare, something goes wonky. So I'm trying, y'all.
It happens.
I'm trying.
Right.
Let me get this camera. All right, so ladies, I love that you guys joined in because I know all of you guys have an amazing personality. None of you are wallflowers, and so we are going to get into some fun stuff today. Did any of you guys have a fun or eventful Valentine's Day? Just sip my water.
Mine was eventful, not fun. Not fun at all. It was actually terrible.
Oh no, anything you want to share with YouTube land?
So it reminded me exactly how single I am because I got a blown out tire on the highway and Fix-A-Flat didn't work, and I went to 2 or 3 different gas stations. I'm such a girl too. I don't know anything about cars or tires or anything. And then I went to put air in the tire and I'm hearing it. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. Luckily my daughter was with me, so she helped a little. And yeah, the whole back of the tire was missing.
That's horrible.
Missing.
Singles.
And I'm like, great, God, thanks for showing me just how single I am today. I have no one to call at all.
That's terrible. Oh my God.
But you know what? It's life. So this year, after last year, I learned not to complain about anything. Life is life. And just deal with it tomorrow.
Yes.
You get it home safely, so.
Exactly. The gas station I ended up at had a mechanic, so
okay.
He'll be there tomorrow. So I'll just call and be like, hey, that random car on your lot, guess what? It has a tire that needs replacing.
Oh my God. And when you do get bae, you're going to be so grateful because you're going to remember all these different times. So.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
So guys, if you're watching, know how to change a tire because you will be Prince Charming. You may as well be riding up on a little white horse because, yeah.
Hello.
We like that stuff.
Right. Us girly girls are girls, right?
Yes, I'm not out there changing tire. I can barely put air in the tire. I just don't want to deal with it.
I didn't know what I was doing either. I'm like reading the Fix-A-Flat, like, wait, what am I doing?
Now, I'm going to apologize in advance because it's going to be a little bit weird, you guys. So since I haven't quite gotten my cameras all squared away, me looking at you guys, I'm looking this way. But me looking at my camera, which is going to look more normal, is looking this way. So if you see me keep going like this, it's not that I'm distracted and doing something else. I'm actually looking at your faces. So
okay.
Pardon me. If I turn it, it's a whole thing, you guys. So, all right. Anybody else have an interesting day? An interesting day. I can't even speak.
Let's just say the day's still going.
That sounds like high hopes. I'm reading into that, and that means high hopes. High hopes.
We're on heels and something sexy later, I hope.
Oh, here's hoping. only time will tell, right?
That's what I say. High hopes. Keep that hope alive. Keep that hope alive. Yes, I spent my entire day working, which I'm not complaining. That's what I do. But yeah, today was just another day for me. I had planned on doing all this stuff for self-love and everything that I teach, but I didn't have time. So I might have to have a Valentine's Day tomorrow. So, yeah. What about you, Liz? Anything interesting today?
Not at all. I sat on my couch. I Netflix and chilled.
Well, that sounds relaxing, though.
Oh, it was very relaxing. I snacked all day.
Just not newsworthy.
Yeah, that's...
Right.
So, I got this 26-inch Mac. It's my first Mac. You guys, I'm really excited. My first Apple product was an iPhone. It was a big deal converting. So I have this magnificently large Mac, but because of how I'm set up, I have it really far away and I can barely read. So I feel like going like this and looking to see where people are joining us from. Okay, we have a Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Shout out. Hey, Trinicia. She was going to try to come on, but her schedule is going a little hit and miss right now. So we'll see if she can join us later. She's watching Louisiana. That's our girl. I know you know her, Liz. And then we have a New York in the house. Oh, that's what's up. We got a Memphis. Great graphics. I said thank you. And then, yeah. See, I can't even read that far, you guys. The font is like 2 from over here. What does it say? Most insurance has roadside. I think that's what it says. Yeah.
Yeah, guess what? When I'm having a panic attack, that just does not,
It's so true, though. Like, you're not thinking straight when you're...
I wanted to call AAA, and I'm like, no. Let me just... But thank you. I know. Geico does, and so does Mini. I have a Mini Cooper. They have roadside assistance. But in hindsight, maybe I should have, but,
Oh, my God. Okay, so I'm going to try to adjust this a little bit, because it's going to drive me nuts. I'm trying not to have you guys see all my OCD notes that I have on the wall here. I'm trying to be great. If anyone has a Mac, let me know if you know how the heck do you minimize... Not minimize. So minimize somebody goes all the way down. This is nothing to the top of you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm not usually this random. But like how to minimize it without it completely collapsing. I want to have 2 screens side by side.
Do you see, go on your upper left-hand screen.
Okay.
Do you see that that green arrow? Try that.
Okay, so that allows me to, it just makes the top.
It shrinks the screen, right?
It didn't. It just made the top disappear. So, like, I don't see all the headings.
Okay.
But on every other time I've done that, it has made it movable. But it's like pinned to the top, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh my God. All I had to do was drag it.
You don't have to tell it.
So on a PC, you can grab the top and move it.
Pull it down from the top.
Yes.
And you can size it how you want to size it by the little arrows at the corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, yay! Now I feel better because I can actually see the comments and this at the same time. That was stressing me out. Okay. What do you say? All reachable.
Let's put away. You're good.
Okay, I'm just going to have to lean in, you guys. I'm going to go off camera. Okay, it says, add reachable to your phone. It's $3 a month and it follows the phone. What is that? Is that for your camera? I don't know. Okay. Next week I'll have this figured out now that I'm transitioning, you guys. All right, so let's get into our topics. Okay, tonight we are going to be telling all. I want to talk about flirting online. There are a lot of great ways to do it and a lot of terrible ways to do it. And so I want for the men watching to really know how to not miss and more hit, because it's hit and miss. And obviously the disclaimer is that one size does not fit all. For one, it might work for the other. But I think there are some things, would you ladies agree, that are kind of universal. And I will start by saying this. You can follow every single rule that we give you, But if we're not attracted to you physically, and
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. So there has to still be that. So this is not magic. We're not practicing voodoo. This you need to be attractive to her. So take that one with a grain of salt. All right. So I want to talk about just in general, what online behavior turns you off. Let's say, I'm going to set the question up a little more specifically. Let's say there's a guy and there is the attraction. He looks cute. He's got the look that you like. And then you start scrolling through his page. Who wants to start? What is something where you're like, and
well,
I'll start.
Okay.
So this actually happened to me, and I try not to be judgmental, but the type of people that are on a person's page, particularly someone that people have children with. Your baby mama has a lip ring and an eyebrow ring, and
you're judging his choices, basically.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm your type. Like I don't think that you would get me. You know?
Yeah.
You have child or children with someone that I just really don't think that matches what I would prefer myself to.
I love the honesty.
Like,
okay.
You know? So yeah, I do kind of.
Any other?
And yeah, I'm that nosy.
I be all in people's business too. Look.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Hey. All right. So what else, ladies? What else is a deal breaker when you see it? You're like, nah, not for me.
Well, I know for me, like when I scroll through your pictures, if all your pictures have you wearing a hat and then show you without showing your teeth, no. Just no. Because first of all, I think you're hat fishing me.
Right.
You clearly
every single photo.
That is a thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. And then you're not going to show your teeth, so you could have 5 missing teeth.
Y'all know I like my side teeth. So.
Like, I love teeth, and you can't give me one picture with you showing your teeth.
Have you ever seen somebody who has every picture with their mouth closed, and then for whatever reason they end up doing a FaceTime or a live or whatever, and they have gorgeous teeth, and you're like, why are you hiding those?
So I'm one of those. I smile all the time with my mouth closed in pictures.
My girl just did that earlier. We were going over her photos, and every picture her teeth were closed. I was like, you look like you're hiding something. And she has a beautiful set of teeth. So, ladies. Let's see. Okay, y'all gonna have to help me out because I can't even this is ridiculous.
Let's see.
I can't read that very last one from Triumphant TV. I hope it's not nothing crazy.
From who? Catfish? It's like Catfish, the show Catfish.
Oh, he said Hatfish. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move my little things so I can move.
Jay looks weird without his hat on. That's Hatfish.
Hatfish. I couldn't hear. Y'all, these are all my YouTube ideas. I put them on my wall. I'm gonna have to move in because I can't deal with not being able to see. Okay. Y'all, we just going with the flow. I say if I start at the bottom, it'll give me room to level up. So when I'm on, major network, we can go back. Remember that time when she was trying to mess with everything live. Okay, now I can see a little bit better. I used to hide my teeth in my pics too, and I have very nice teeth. Why? What is the reason, in the words of Cardi B?
Show them.
Yes, show them. We want to see them.
My smile with my teeth open, my smile is crooked, and I hate it. Like, it's like...
What do you mean, like your lip? Like, you feel like you're...
Yeah, like I look like I have Bell's palsy when I smile with my mouth open, so I just don't.
Not Bell's palsy. And I think a lot of times we're so critical on ourselves and half the stuff and nobody else probably even notices.
Exactly. No one pays attention.
Yeah. But they will think you're missing teeth. I think they'll take teeth over Bell's palsy, Bell's palsy over missing teeth. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm caught up. Thugs don't smile. He said thugs don't smile. Women are suckers for a man with a smile. And I don't know what it is, and I know you're probably joking, Walter, but so many guys say that in sincerity, but there's something about the smile that makes a guy seem like just kind and approachable and warm. And I feel like men, okay, it's the same way women do things that they think are going to turn a man on, but they're going off of their brain. Men think prison pose. You want to pose like that in a prison setting because you don't want to invite any company. You're telling people, back off, don't F with me. But think about it psychologically. Do you want to tell a gorgeous woman to back off, don't F with me? No, it's opposite. So when you smile, you're inviting in. Now, if you ever get locked up, God forbid, then you can do that little. But nobody.
Especially when genuine smile.
What'd you say?
Especially when it's a genuine smile and they have those pretty teeth. Oh my gosh.
I call it smiling with your face. Like you can just see that they're smiling with their whole face. Yeah. Oh, I feel so much better. I can see now. Okay. All right. So anything else that you guys have seen that is a turnoff that you're like, this is for the people watching who don't know NT better. So we're going to just help them out, you guys.
I think for me, it's the comments, especially when you have like a large female following. It is the comments and how you respond.
That is so true. I can't stand the chauvinistic ones or the ones that sound like they know it all or all women are just messed up. It's like they're speaking down in a condescending way. Like, women need to get it together. And it's like, honey, nobody's checking for you anyway. So.
Mine is grammar.
Oh my God.
Well, that's Yonci's.
She knows. I'm like,
and you know what? It's kind of hypocritical because I'm a typo queen. It's just everything I type has a typo in it, probably. But bad grammar for me is a turn off.
Yeah.
Especially when, I'm almost 40. So if you're interested in me, you have to be of that age or older. So at this point, certain things you shouldn't be doing at certain ages.
Are you triggered by the there?
That, or not even that, but is like you going out tonight?
Hey.
Or, it's just ridiculous. Like, what do you mean, is you going out tonight?
Yeah, your sentence structure, your subject verb agreement.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah. And I know people have said that Ebonics is part of our culture and this and that. If I was the president of the world, I would just eliminate it from the universe because it's like nails on a chalkboard to somebody who really enjoys speaking properly. And so we say things like, what is we doing? I know we're joking, but okay, this one's really going to drive me nuts.
But some people aren't.
They're right, and that's the thing. So you don't know when someone's saying
when you're trying to get to know someone, you don't know if they know better or not. So
yes,
I may not talk to you if that's on your page.
Time and place. Yes,
exactly.
I would agree. I also am not a fan. I will tell you this. I'm not a fan of seeing a bunch of pictures of like weed smoking and like, I'm not a prude. I don't mind if you smoke, but if that's what we're seeing primarily, if you're all these middle fingers, why the middle finger? I feel like it's a representation of you. And so on the one hand, it's like, I don't want to tell people certain things like this because it's like, if that really is you, let us know, boo-boo, so we can keep scrolling by. But if you're not leading with your best foot, or if you're one of those people who say, oh, it's just fun and games and don't take me seriously, well, nobody knows that. So you never know your queen could be out there because even if you're not using your social media as a dating app, it is a dating app. Whether you like it or not, it is.
So someone said, is there a difference between typos and bad grammar? Absolutely.
Yes.
I have impeccable grammar, but if I'm in the moment and I'm typing really quickly, sometimes I don't catch autocorrect or sometimes I'm typing the text because I'm driving or something like that, so it may come across as a typo.
But it's not full sentence structure.
Exactly, yes.
Or if they do it over and over. Like mine is a 2 and 2. Like you don't know when to use T-O.
I was just going to say that.
Keep doing it over and over. And I'm just like, oh, wait, you're not. You
don't know better.
Right. I have someone that consistently uses T-O-O for like every 2.
Usually it's the other way around. It's T-O for everything.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I know someone who uses TOO for everything.
I'm super judgy and I need to work on not being like that, but I think it's like subconsciously you just think it's intellect, even though someone could be brilliant and not know the difference between two, and two, or there, and there, but it's subconscious, and I just...
Or they could be caught in the moment as well, you know?
Every time?
Every time.
She trying to help, bless his heart.
Work.
Oh, they called you out. They said, "Ooh, texting and driving." I'm sure she was voice texting.
Yeah, I
texting.
said voice to text.
Which is why she didn't see it, because she's not trying to spell check. She's just trying to drive. Response. Yeah.
Thank you.
He said the whole world. How about using a bunch of emojis and texting? Oh my God. Mine is when people overuse abbreviations. It makes me feel like I'm talking to like a 15-year-old, and I'm like,
yeah,
we're 40, like we're in our 40s, and everything is you are, or the, you know. So I might be showing more of my neurotic side, but yeah, I do like a full sentence. I like punctuation.
I'm similar.
Yeah, finish the end of your sentence. Don't type in all caps.
Yeah, abbreviation just feels more personal. Like, use your words.
Use the word, baby.
Use your words.
I was talking to a guy who used to always do like GM for good morning, and he heard from somewhere that when you're talking to a girl, don't use GM because it's like she's not worth the whole word.
Right.
Like, good morning.
Exactly.
Worth 2 letters.
Maybe not sporadically. I don't mind it, but every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're saying like "good morning," I did it, like it's rolling into it. But if you're it's all that you're sending, really, that's all we get. Like that's
yeah. No, I had a guy that typed out "laugh out loud," literally LAUGH space.
Wow.
space.
Now that he just went to the other direction. He just went.
I blocked him. I can't. What are you doing? Why are we doing this?
Wow. I'm surprised he didn't send a photo of him actually laughing out loud. Like, see, this is me laughing out loud right now.
Right. No. Every time.
Wow.
Yeah,
what did he say? Speech to text doesn't misspell words. Actually, it does.
It does.
Yeah, especially if you have a name, a proper name that is unusual. Like, Siri doesn't know how to say Yonci or spell Yonci. She's not that advanced. And sometimes
not only that, but it may think that it's hearing you say one word,
right,
and the communication barrier sometimes because if you're driving or the wind is blowing or.
That's a good point. It's not that it's a typo. They are correctly typing out. They're not misspelling a word. They are hearing the wrong word and giving the spelling of the word they think it's saying. Yeah, that's a good clarification. Yes. Triumphant is feeling a little feisty tonight. Goodness.
I know, trying me here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a Gemini. I got something for everything you got to say. Come on.
Okay, it said must be an Apple thing then. Okay, too funny. Hey, Walter, by the way. Walter has been with me since the beginning of time.
Red too.
He's awesome. All right, so we're gonna slide into the next topic. What about the DM? Okay, DM do's and don'ts. So somebody asked on a post. He said, "What advice would you give to a guy who wants to get your attention online?" Some women were directing him directly into her inbox, and for me, I'm like, "Whoa!" There are like 14 steps before the inbox, and I'll share my 14 steps, but I'll let somebody go first. So what are your rules on the DM? Now, this is, in theory, a guy who sees you online and thinks you're attractive and wants to shoot a shot.
I don't mind a DM instantly, just because I'm not the beat around the bush type of person. Like, if my friend wants to ask for $50, I don't want you to be like, "Hey, how are you doing? What's been up with you? Yada, yada, yada. Can I have $50? No, just jump into it. Hey, girl, what you doing? May I borrow $50?
Yeah.
You know? So I don't mind the directness at all, but it's the content of
said DM.
DM, yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't need to see you in your gray sweatpants at your first interaction of.
They're leading with the thing.
Or, "Hey, sexy, excuse me. Hi, you are."
We haven't established that yet. Yeah.
Right.
I just be respectful. Be
right.
respectful.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I don't mind the initial, but with tact, please.
With Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And don't go in the inbox asking for pictures. You're on social media. Do you know how many pictures you come across already?
Exactly. You don't see all these pictures.
But they want to feel special, Jennifer. They want to know that you sat there with your
special
phone.
at that first DM, boo.
Exactly. There we go. There are levels.
There's reason to send you a new picture.
There are levels to this.
Yeah.
There really are.
And posting on Facebook annoys me. Like, what is that?
What is it?
Coke.
Oh, Coke. I know you said Coke. I was like, why?
No, Coke. The Coke feature. I literally had a guy that would Coke, and then, like, I poked him back, and he kept doing it. I'm like, dude, like, I feel like you're kind of taking advantage of me a little bit. Like, where's all this Coke?
You owe me a drink at this point.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that needs to just go away if it hasn't already. That feature is just, like,
what is it?
Too funny. Okay, so for me, I don't like a lot of strays in my DM. You know, if we've kind of like established a rapport, then it's kind of like, I feel like I brought you into my home a little, almost like you're kind of there. It's that one-on-one. So for me, what I recommend to fellas, if you see a lovely woman as you're, traveling through social media, I would engage first with her content. I would engage because whenever somebody engages, what do we all do? We naturally tend to click on their picture. Unless you just have like a bajillion followers and you're getting notifications of 300 at a time. But for the most part, you're going to see. And there's usually a thumbnail, okay? So make your thumbnail good. Don't have it some crazy like a monkey from the zoo or some GIF or whatever. If you want to get her attention, put your mug as pretty big and full as you can because we're people, we lead with attraction physically. So she's going to already have checked out your page. So then at that point, she determines, like we said at the top of the hour, whether or not she's attracted to you. You then can start to banter a little bit with her and then throw in a little bit of flirtation. If she is dry as the Sahara, dry with her responses, pretty good indication, keep it moving, right? And so if she's like, proverbially speaking, that's a good sign. So in person, we do the whatever. In, social media, and let me know if I'm wrong, ladies, we're going to do the extras. We're going to do the emojis. We're going to giggle. We're going to keep the conversation going. And this is a very fine line because some people are just very polite and they will respond back. But do maybe 2 or 3 where it's really flirtatious to really get the feeling. And I'm saying this to say to avoid embarrassment for her and avoid embarrassment for you. Just really kind of fill her out. And it's the same way in person. If you're talking to somebody, and let's say you're at a bar when the world opens, because California, we're still completely shut down. But let's just say you tap her on the shoulder or you get her attention and she turns to look at you and she answers your question and then turns right back. Not a good sign. If her whole body language changes and she's leaning in and especially if she touches you, we give these signals whether we realize it or not that we're into. So you have to start to learn the online signals of continue talking. We're going to want to keep the conversation going. And then once you get that banter, gone, slide in that DM. Or maybe make a joke about slide. That to me is a good one. Make a joke about sliding in the DM because then it saves face if she's like, or, because I'll say something witty back where I'm like, no, I'm never in my DMs or whatever the case may be. I shouldn't be telling this online. But make a joke about that. That way you can save face. What's that?
I said, you're telling your secret.
I know, I was like, dang it. There's really going to be a time where I say that someone will be like, dang, I didn't take it offensively. but yeah. YouTube comments need emojis. Oh, yeah. I think you can still do them. I don't think you can do like reaction, or can you? I feel like if you have a phone, you can do it. Maybe if you're typing on a computer, maybe that's what it is. Oh, nice. Shane says he's enjoying these conversations. That's awesome. Did I miss any more questions? Oh, Trinicia says when he comes into the DMs, have something to say. I enjoy conversations. Yes. So the other thing that's kind of annoying is like if the person's just like, hello.
Yes.
And very dry.
I like to think of this way. If you were in an elevator or something like that, or sitting across from a table with somebody and they were like, hello. Wouldn't that be weird? Like, that's just weird when you don't know the person. You're just like,
hi.
Hi. So you could say something like, oh my God, I had heart palpitations looking at that last photo. Or, whoa, you have 2 degrees. That's insane. Do anything that opens the conversation and don't ask
dialogue.
Yeah, ask an open-ended question.
Okay.
Okay.
If she's not in, she tells you, I'm not interested, let it go. Don't keep going either.
So you're saying don't try to convince her. Is that what I feel like you're saying?
Don't. She's made her mind up. That's it.
Don't pull out a PowerPoint presentation and tell all of the qualifications that you have that make you eligible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing is now she knows you're interested. So if you pique her interest at some point, you've initiated it.
She can double back.
Give her time. She may need time. It may be bad timing too.
She might be with somebody. She might have just broken up and had a heartache. It's not always necessarily personal. That's a great point, Jen. But she can always circle back because the DM keeps receipts. So don't.
Hey, big head, you 3 months down the line.
You never know. Keep your water on tap so you never get caught thirsty.
Okay, exactly.
And you.
Okay. Let's see. Someone's showing off the emojis. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. So next question. What are turnoffs in a dating app profile? I did a whole video on this, and I'm going to just start it off. Okay, I'm going to warm the room on this one. Do not, and I repeat, do not have group photos. And if you absolutely must have, because, oh my God, it's just such an amazing photo, blur the other faces out, put emojis there, whatever. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not the hottest guy. And it happens with the girls too. And that is the worst when you get like messaged by somebody and you see this group picture and you're like, oh God, let it be him, let it be him, let it be him. And you scroll to picture 2 and you're like, damn it. The friend.
It's not him.
Right.
That was the friend.
With all the social media, even on Facebook, like even when I get a message, so I have an Android, and so I'll just pull down to get the name, and I'll go to his profile, and you know how they share certain pictures with if we're not friends or not.
Mm-hmm.
I have a group of guys, and I'm like, ooh,
who's that?
That looks yummy. And then I finally accept his friend request, and then it's a totally wrong guy, and I'm like, oh, wow.
Go through the friends list. Be like,
like unfriend you by accident. Oh, so,
whoopsie,
yeah.
fat fingers.
Right. Whoops.
There's also people that post pictures with multiple girls. I cannot stand that. Like, I don't like that is so heavy. That's such a, like, what is the purpose of you even being on here or hitting on another woman? And like, you see, like, we literally go down your profile and we look at all your pictures because we as women are very nosy.
Yes.
And we like to know what we're getting into prior to getting into it. So to see all those photos of you and different women, oh yeah, no. Wrong move, hun.
There was a guy
who shows the man's insecurities.
It is. And but the irony is that they think that by showing their prowess, it's going to impress us, and it literally repels us. That's the irony. And there was a guy, so there was one of the apps that allows video snippets, so you can have like pictures, videos, whatever. He posted a video of him dancing one-on-one with a girl. It looked like a house party kind of thing, so it was like really casual. But it was like the 2 of them, and she was like, she wasn't totally bent over, but I was just like, what? Why? Like, out of all the videos and pictures you could choose, you're like, this is the one that's just gonna reel him in. I don't want to see you and a shorty backing it up. Like, it doesn't do anything for me, except encourage me to swipe left.
Exactly. I don't care if it's old, new, current, past, future. I don't. It doesn't. If it's not, you don't need it.
And I don't care if it's your mom, your sister. I don't want to have to go to the caption to see this really smoking hot chick as your sister or your cousin. Just stop. Like, you don't have any photos by yourself? Or like the ones where it's like so zoomed in, it's like right here. I remember one time I was like, can I get a full body? And he literally uploaded individual photos. I kid you not. The back of his knees, his hands. I think he was trying to be funny, but I was just like, yeah, I don't want to play a puzzle. I want to like see it all together. Never mind. I was like, I can't.
Forget it.
The picture with a mask. Like what? I can't see your face. How can I? No. Mm-mm. Why
I wish you were joking.
You mean to tell me you can't just like, and then put it back on? Just doesn't make any sense.
Can I see what we're getting? Again, I don't like the nightclub photos sitting on your car, you know, clearly trying to show off your watch. Shout out to Fitbit if you want to sponsor my video. I'm always wearing it. Anyway, it never goes with my fancy outfits, but damn it, I want to keep track of my calories.
That's me and my Apple Watch.
Look, I'm like, it does not go with my prom dress, but it's tracking my calories.
Right.
Yeah, it's like no group photos, no pictures of you in the car. We get it. You think you're cool. Certainly no pictures with the phone. Cash, please, dear God, I hope nobody's still doing that. No pictures that look like it's from 1987. Get an updated photo. Like, they should not be pixelated. Everybody has phones. Like, even Android takes good pictures, so there's no excuse. There's a timer, so you could put the phone down and, like, click the timer and take a photo where you're in it. Smoking, it's just not a good look. Drinking, it's not a good... The popping bottle, like... No, we're not. No.
Like you're trying to flex, but who are you flexing for? Is that really what you want to attract?
That's not your target audience, boo. Yeah.
Wait, you're targeting women that want money and floozies.
And then you don't complain about it.
Usually those aren't the ones with, you know, because they want to show it off while they had it.
What did they say? When they said when he shows off his money, it's because he's still excited about it. It's
very true.
He's excited that he has it. He's shocked he has it too.
Can't believe it himself. Like, can't believe I'm able to do this tonight, but I am. I'm gonna make it my profile picture.
Oh my God. Okay, Jay says you just got a new phone. What's up, Jay? I see you just got a new phone, Yonci. Now you want to act brand new. You're not kidding. So, no, I actually think that Android takes amazing photos. I took, you know, pretty good photos when I had mine. I fought Apple all the way through. And part of it, well, I won't get into that, but part of it was because I felt like people were so snobby with Apple. And it's like, there's a difference between just enjoying a product. But why do I have to look down on Android people? Like, why? But now that I have one, I do understand the emotion behind it. Not the judgment, but it's more of a disappointment because there are limitations for the Apple user when they're dealing with an Android person. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Apple made that god-awful neon green for the text messages as opposed to the very soothing blue of the Apple. But you can't FaceTime with somebody. You can't, like, if you do
feel attacked with that green.
What's that?
Right. You feel attacked when that green.
I literally feel attacked. I do. And, like, if you try to respond to a comment or something, the person gets... Yonci loved an image. They can't actually see the logo. It's like we're speaking two different languages. So
you can't leave a group because of that one Android friend.
I'm serious.
You can't.
We can all be Apple, and then that one person joins the group and green. There we go. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
so yeah, Jay's calling.
Sorry.
Shout out to Jay, by the way. I don't know if you're still training. If you are, you guys, he's an amazing trainer. Shout out to him. Why did you disrespect? He said, wait, did you disrespect Android? No, I gave Android its props. I'm saying that if you have an Apple, it's more of a frustration because you cannot freely do all the things. Okay. So that was that. So those are just a couple. If you guys want to hear more of the turnoffs, go to my video, guys. Stop doing this on dating apps. The next thing, what'd you say?
I said, please stop.
Please stop. All right. So, what are the turnoffs on a first conversation? Now, you guys actually already answered this a little bit, but you were talking about coming in with the photo request, coming in with the pet names. What other stuff is not first conversation energy? I didn't know you existed before today, and now we're here. So what kinds of stuff would you say, like, fall back on that might be cute later, not right now, sir?
Don't start talking to me about your exes. Just don't.
Oh, yes. Why? What is the reason? I your therapist.
I don't mind the talks about the exes because here again, I go back to that lip piercing and eyebrow conversation. If I know what your exes have been like, I can kind of match myself or mismatch myself with you. Like, oh, I know if she did that or said that or you allowed it, you won't get along.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're there to get to know him. You're not there to get to know the exes, at least not at that present time or at that first moment.
But she's saying she's going to eliminate herself.
I may not want to get to know him by what the ex was.
True.
I look at it like the way you talk about your ex shows your character. And to me, I can have dated somebody who is off the chain nut job, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say, ooh, that was not a good match. And I'm going to move on. I'm not going to, oh my God, this dude was such an ass. Let me tell you. I have photos too. Hold on, let me just send you a couple. No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I feel like you can tell a lot about a person by the way they talk. And it comes across as like trauma. And then there's the ones that never own anything. So it's like, oh, every single person was crazy. Right. And they were all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say, man, it would be so interesting if you could have conversations with people's exes and kind of see like what's what. Because there was only one time, where I knew of a woman who was, let's just say, was not getting the truth. And I genuinely felt bad because it took me a while to kind of like get out of that situation. And I saw her going down the same path. And so out of just like girl code, I hit her up and I wanted to like let her know. But I know that there are also people who do that out of like trying to throw salt, trying to block or whatever. So it's really hard to tell. You don't know what the person's motive is. So somebody could say something crazy, trying to keep him single, or whatever. But,
And there used to be a website, I don't know if you all knew about it. It was like in the early 2000s called Don'tDateHimGirl.com.
Oh, my God.
With the picture of guys and reviews.
Yeah, I heard of that.
So I joked
for men.
And let
women.
And let them know, like, all the do's don'ts. This is why don't date this. He does that. I'm just like, wow.
You would literally search a man's name and you would get the rundown.
That's so crazy.
Like,
so I joked about doing that, and I said I want to have a Yelp for dating. And somebody, I'll never forget, I think it was Joel, he said, it should be called Whelp. I think that was so funny. But the downside is that you can't protect yourself from, slander, like, I always think worst case scenario. So it's like, what if you have a jilted person who's just mad that they turned you down and now he's writing this review like, oh, he's got a small member or, whatever. Like, it's hard because you're going off somebody's word. But if you do see multiple people attesting to the same thing, I think that one should definitely have eyebrows up. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about your ex that you're just like, oh, man, you could not pay... What'd you say?
That what was I thinking moment?
Yes. But then I was going to say, do you ever think about when he goes back out into the dating world and he has that fresh new encounter with a new person, just that thought of like, she has no idea. Bless her heart. Like, he's probably giving her the good speech. He's probably attentive. Like all the things that they do. And you're just like, oh God. She thinks he's amazing. I totally
had a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in an ex. Like, he tricked the hell out of me for like the first 6 months. And it was like, who are you, Satan?
Yeah. Get thee behind me. What about, okay, so this one we totally are going to vary on, I'm sure. How soon do you want a man to ask for your number? So you guys are vibing, it seems. You're feeling him. He seems to be feeling you. When is too soon or when is it too long? If you guys are chatting on an app.
I don't mind.
Like right away?
Yeah, I don't mind. Like if we've had like the first chat on an app, sometimes I've even said, hey, here's my number. you know, text me on here because it's so complicated for me to maneuver apps during the day. Like I have way too many other things going on than to say, okay, I'm going to check Match.com and see if he texted me today or he chatted me today. So I don't mind. Like if we're vibing and we're having good conversations, I don't mind giving my number.
Okay.
Because I can block you.
I love the apps that have the built-in phone. Those are amazing.
Yes. I can block you. You're a nuisance. So.
What were you gonna say, Jen?
I was just saying, I don't mind the FaceTime phone calls, but only if we are vibing though. Only.
I mind FaceTime.
It's more personal. I enjoy conversation and getting to know the person. All that. I like the phone calls.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with FaceTime. I'm like, FaceTime me.
So do you all, like, you don't care if they FaceTime you without saying, hey, can you FaceTime?
Oh, no. There needs to be there needs to be an invitation.
I'm like, you're violating at this point. Like, what are you doing?
Now, if we have a rapport, but that initial one, that first one, yes. But for me, I actually prefer FaceTime. So I don't mind if we've already established and we kind of have, you know, something going. Right. If you just FaceTime, because if I'm not in a position to talk or FaceTime, then I just won't answer. And I'll say, oh, hey, you know, let me call you in 5 minutes or whatever. But for the most part, I'm usually good with the FaceTime. Like today I was working. I had so many people FaceTime me. And now that I have it on my Macintosh computer, it just pops up on the screen. I was able to just keep working while all these different faces are popping up to talk to me. But at the beginning, I want to know what you look like. Because I have seen some people who look amazing with that angle, that perfect angle, and then you see them on camera and you're like, no, sir. Yeah. There's a delay with yours, Jen. I'm sorry. What'd you say? It's like one of those non-English movies. Like your mouth starts moving and then your audio comes in after. Like, wait, what's going on? What did you say?
Oh no, go ahead. What was Elizabeth?
Is it just me or is it like delayed for you guys too?
No, it's happening.
She's delayed a little bit.
Okay, I thought I was glitching on. Too funny. Were you saying something, Liz?
Oh, I was saying that the key word is vibing because I've had a lot of people just say, hello, how are you? And then give me their number. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that? I don't want that. I don't know who you are. How was your day? They're just like, oh yeah, call me.
Yes, it's so presumptuous. I've had people slide in my DM who I have not even responded to. And they're like planning out a relationship. Like, I forget what somebody said. See, I wasn't going to say that. They talking mess, Jen. Talking about upgrade your Wi-Fi. Anywho. I've had a guy jump in the DM and he said something like, you know, it wasn't, I want to get to know you. I'm trying to remember how I said it because it was so forward. It was like, you know, we need to figure out how this is going to work or something. It was like something along those lines. And I'm like, sir, I don't even know you. First of all,
I had someone that said, I want to make you my woman. I don't even know you.
There's steps. There are steps.
You scare me now.
Yeah. That's a little odd. All right, so let's get into our next topic, you guys. We're going to talk about the initial attraction. And by the way, guys, if you have a question and you are watching this on YouTube, type your question for the ladies and within reason, we'll answer. On topic, okay, advice on our opinions on love, dating, sex, and relationships. So not just random, like, what's your shoe size, okay? Because you got to tell people. You never know out here in YouTube land. All right, so let's say, and we kind of cover this a little bit too. When you first meet somebody, you guys exchange numbers. Do you like him to text initially and then build up to the phone call? Or do you like to dive in? So you've already exchanged numbers. You have the numbers. Do you have a preference? For me, I don't want to be a pen pal. So I don't enjoy a lot of texting. To me, texting is a quick way of passing information on or letting the person know I'm thinking about them. But as far as getting to know them, that is a no-go for the initial phase. What are your thoughts?
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. Only because my day, I don't have to only focus on you if that's too different.
Oh, sorry guys. I think we have someone with their YouTube on. So just, oh, it's her second one. So just mute one of them, love. And your lighting is so much better in that second one. That's awesome. Just go ahead and mute one of them though, because it's one of them is listening to the other and it's making an echo. Okay, there we go. Perfect.
So I have to solely focus on a phone conversation, and I don't have that level of time all the time during the day.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm able to hold a conversation via text message, and I can hold several conversations via text message simultaneously, not with men, but in general, like I could handle in business.
I mean, no shade.
But like, if I'm on the phone, that means I have to slow down what I'm doing to talk to you, and you're not at that level yet. You know, so you have to build up with me for me to actually want to have time to talk to you on the phone. I just don't have that. I don't have that flexibility in my schedule all the time where I can carve out 2 hours to say what we could have just text messaged.
Well, what about you other ladies? What are your thoughts? So we are polar opposites because I can't get a vibe from text. So I feel like I'm wasting my time. I might start liking what you're saying on text, but then if we have to talk on the phone, we're not vibing. I feel like I just wasted all that time. So what are your thoughts, Liz?
I'm the same. I enjoy texting only because, well, kind of like how Jennifer was saying, I can get more done if we're just texting. Like, I can multitask, which I love to multitask. But on the phone, I have to sit there, talk to you, like, pay attention, slow things down. Then I can't, like, wash the dishes because then that makes background noise. So it's just, it limits what I can do.
Wow.
So, but I mean, eventually, I'm not saying just text the whole time. But like if we're just talking during the day, hey, how you doing? This is funny. Right. Maybe at night, sure, fine, let's do a phone call. But like during the day, I got things to do.
Yeah.
So it's just quick text. I can go do this quick. Like I can. It's just better for me.
Okay. And what about you, Jen?
I like being on the phone. I like actually having phone conversations because last thing I want is for them to get so accustomed to just texting to where that's all we do.
And that's the downside. It is.
Yeah, you would eventually gravitate to,
right.
Graduate to that. Yeah, that makes sense. So I think that a lot of times, where is this? The camera for those of you. Oh, I was looking at the comment. I totally missed that one. Dang. I missed Akira's comment. Sorry, Akira. My bad, girl. But we're so far past. I'm just going to move on. But what I was going to say is I think a lot of times, I've been guilty of this when I was younger. I would assume that certain things were universal. Like, oh, this is how it is. I've learned now to just open my mouth. And a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So I think it's important to establish what do you like. If I'm dating somebody, I'll let them know, hey, you know, I prefer FaceTime. Like if we're going to only talk 1 time a day or maybe 2 times a day, I prefer FaceTime. For me, it makes me feel connected. And I'm a little bit different because there's pretty much no time of day that I can't be on camera. You know, I know a lot of women are like, violation, I don't need you in this, you know, in my face at this time of day. But for me, I'm like, you gonna get what you gonna get. So you get bedhead, you gonna get bedhead.
And I don't care about that. I've dated very controlling men, and I just always felt like that was a manipulation tactic. Like, you want to see what's in my background. And I felt like it was an imposition on my life for you to randomly, if you're not my boyfriend, why are you randomly FaceTiming me? Like, what indicated that you were able to do this?
That makes sense.
There are levels to privileges.
Yeah.
Okay. What about last minute date invites? Okay, so let's say, for example, it is, we'll just say Saturday during the day, and the guy asked you out that night, or it's a Wednesday and he invites you to go grab a drink. This is at the very beginning. So maybe one of the first, either the first or one of the first 3. For your first impression, what are your thoughts if somebody asks you for a last minute date? Is it a good thing or a bad thing or a neutral thing?
I don't mind it because I think that some people are just really spontaneous like that. I've dated men that you just cannot plan ahead with because of their schedules. And the spontaneity of the last minute, is it really last minute, or is it like, all right, let me see what she's doing, I'm interested and I want to take her out.
Yeah.
Let's see if she's free and I'm free, then let's hang.
Anyone
I'm the
else?
same way. I don't mind the last minute. I mean, if you want to date me on Saturday and it's Friday, that's fine. Or if it's Saturday morning, it's like, oh, let's go catch dinner. Oh, okay.
Now, if it's a comedy show and it's the show starts at 9 and it's 7:45, chances are you had a date cancel on you and I'm the backup, and I have a problem with that.
See, that's my issue with it. I feel like, not necessarily saying that someone canceled, but I feel like an afterthought. Because I think about, let's say if I want to go to a concert, I'm not going to wait until the day of the concert to try to buy my ticket because I know there's a chance that it's going to be sold out. When I find out about a concert, I'm going to book immediately. And so I feel like the same. It's not to say that it can't be a spontaneous thing, but that's why I specified the first 3 dates, especially the first one. I feel that it sends a message, whether or not it's true, I feel it can send a message subconsciously that she is not a priority. Because you're also assuming that I'm available on a Saturday night. How dare you? And so I feel like, to me, it's more complimentary if a person gives me advance notice and says, you know what, I really would love to see you this weekend. You know, are you free Friday or Saturday? And, you know, a little bonus that says that, hey, this is the day I'm available. And Tamika wants to join us. I'm going to ask you, we're so casual on here. Liz, do you know Tamika to be able to send her the link, the information for logging in? Can you inbox her? Or even if you could post it on the original post that I put up asking people, if it's too much to ask, don't worry about it. But she just hit me. And because I'm using my phone as my video, I can't do what I normally would do. And so since I'm
Can
talking,
I ask you a question though?
Yeah, please.
So in the beginning stages, okay, you mentioned that first 3 dates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you be his priority?
Not that it's a priority in the sense of like his responsibilities, but meaning I want a guy who is intrigued by me enough to want to put energy out there. So, for example, if he has like 4 or 5 people that he's going after, I'm not really that high on his list. And so I have found that if I'm just one of a plethora, because this is where it sounds a little hypocritical. I feel like it's easier for a woman to entertain multiple men because she's receiving energy. But when a man is going, and she's only relying on what he's giving. She can't control it and make it more powerful or not. She's only receiving what she's receiving. Versus a man, I feel if you're really trying to make a genuine connection, you put your energy into a person, a woman, until you get a vibe. So if he's put his energy into me, I've clearly given him indication back that I'm feeling him. To me, it doesn't make sense to continue to set up all these other dates when you're focusing on me, because now you're building something with multiple people, and that means that there's a chance that somebody is going to be not hurt, but it's like these are not stock options, these are actual people. So the more you're investing in this relationship, because it's a relationship, period. It's just not a committed relationship, but you're relating to people. I feel like it's like you're putting bait on multiple hooks. So what if you catch all the fish? So now you caught all these fish, now you got to throw some back. So it's like, yes, it takes a little bit longer, but I think it makes more sense to go down aisle 1, see if you like what's at the end of the aisle. If you don't, okay, go back, go down aisle 2. And I think the reason why you have such inconsistent energy is because people are trying to juggle 15 people. So I'm old school. I know it's not like the popular way, but I think that a lot of times people forget that there's a person on the other end of it, and they're just looking at them as options. And we even say that I want to keep my options open.
And I think I look at it like I take people for who they are. So say, for instance, like I just explained why I don't like to have phone conversations, right? Because I'm busy. So if I live or lead a very busy life, and at this moment, this particular moment, I'm like, I really want to hang with so-and-so, right? Let me see. As a guy, I'm a guy right now, right? I'm speaking from a man's standpoint. Let me see what Jen has going on tonight. Because I'm feeling her. I want to see her. I know it's last minute. And maybe he might say it like that. I know it's last minute. And excuse me, but are you free later? You want to go hang and have a drink? I don't see an issue with that because some men are very spontaneous. Other men, like I would prefer for a spontaneous man to say, hey, you free later, than to make plans at the end of the weekend and have to cancel them because such and such popped up and or he has to fly out to see a client or whatever. I would prefer for you to meet me at the level that you're on and the way that your schedule is set up. So that's why I'm a little more flexible, but I'm also a Gemini, so we can flip-flop, you know. We are very flexible people. So
I think there are different ends to the spectrum. And if you guys are watching, let me know what you think about the initial couple of dates being spontaneous versus being planned out. And the reason why I say this is because I feel that there are always opportunities for it to be the reality. Like you said, like he was really busy. He didn't plan on having an opening and then he jumped on it. But for me, it's more of a rule of thumb because to me, if you're that busy that you can't plan ahead and your schedule changes so frequently, it probably wouldn't be a good fit for me. Because when I make plans, I stick to them. You know, Jen and I, you know, we're friends offline. And if we make plans, sometimes we're planning a month ahead of time. Because I know her schedule's crazy. She knows my schedule's crazy. But because it's a priority to hang out, we're going to make plans. And I'm trying to think, I don't think we've ever canceled on each other. Like, we stick to the plan. So I take it as respect, and I know we project onto people. So I'm probably projecting, and I can own that. But to me, that is how I show somebody that I care. If I pencil you in and I stick to it, that's how I show I care. So when I don't get that back, I feel like I'm an afterthought or a last-minute option. Jen, and
it may boil down to love languages too, you know, and what is most important for you to fulfill you as a person, you know, and that is a personal preference.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, big time.
You get to a point to where they make plans, continue to cancel, or make other arrangements, or whatever the case may be, and it turns into a turnoff, and you don't want to make or follow through with plans with that person anymore.
Yes.
It's like, well, it's okay. So when they finally have time for you, it's like, oh, well, I don't have time for you. Even when you could be sitting at home and doing nothing.
Yes.
So it's okay.
I dated a guy who was an actor, and his schedule was totally unpredictable. And so we could make full-on plans to go out of town, and this actually happened. He had to fly to China for a press conference unexpectedly. He had a time where the studio just decided they wanted to reshoot a pilot. And it's, or if the show got repicked, he lived in California with me. Not with me, obviously, but we both lived in California. But the show that he was on that was very successful was shot in Atlanta. And it was up in the air whether or not they were going to pick up another season or be done. And so it was this huge if. Like, we can't make plans because you might be gone for 6 weeks, in a whole nother state. So knowing my personality type, I tend to do better with people who have more structure because that just gets exasperating when I'm inviting you to something, but I don't actually know if you can come because I don't even know if you're going to attend. That's a lot. Sherelle says, as a mother of 4, she said, I need the spontaneity. As a mother of 4, I need to do stuff last minute when it's fitting for me. So I hate planning ahead, especially if I'm not in the mood. Oh, see, this is why I love these conversations, because it just shows the diversity of opinions, and it points out the importance of talking to your person and seeing, because maybe someone like me wouldn't have, spontaneously asked, but Sherelle would have loved that. Or Jen would have loved it.
And see, I'm a canceler. Like, if I can plan, and I'm a planner, but me planning something a month from now, like if we plan a girls' night at a restaurant or something, and I have nothing on my schedule, great, yeah, big fun. I might even be the initial person whose idea it was. But my day sometimes can be so hectic that I am just thrown out, exhausted, and I'll be like, y'all, I'm sorry. Have fun for me.
Aww.
I'm not gonna make it, So I can kind of understand the spontaneous.
Yeah.
But and it's like what your grandma says back in the day, you start out how you hold out. So it can be a gift and a curse, because you don't want the prefaces of the relationship to be always spontaneous. We should be able to build and make plans with one another. And I too dated a stockbroker, so he traveled 99.9% of the time. And it was long distance on top of that, and he's actually from Cleveland, but he had some clients here, so he would fly here, and it would be like, hey, I'm in town, what are you doing? And I'm like, you couldn't tell me that you were about to get on the plane? You wait until...
Because that's a whole couple hours. You knew hours before.
And, once I started to see, the more I hung out with him to see what his day was like, sometimes he might have been on that phone until the gate, the plane closed, the doors to the plane closed, and they pull off. So, I don't know, I guess it's what you can really, really tolerate. What are you willing to tolerate? Where are you willing to give in a little bit to say, okay, you're somebody that I really dig, so I will make this compromise.
So playing devil's advocate, though, and guys, the guys watching, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, on the planning ahead versus spontaneous. Again, not across the board, saying at the very beginning when you're making your first impression. But my question is this. So right now, I am the busiest I have ever been in my life. So since I quit my full-time job in summer of last year, I will literally wake up at 4 a.m. because I got to wake up to go with my trainer and do my workout, and I will work until 10 o'clock at night. I only take a break to make my lunch or my dinner, but I sit at my desk and eat. I don't take breaks. I work nonstop. But if I have someone special in my life, I make time for them. And again, this is where the projecting could come. I let people know up front, my life is crazy hectic. However, I live by schedules. So if we say we're going to have once a week, we're going to have a date, or we're going to talk, I will carve out an hour or whatever time. Okay, 7 o'clock is Bay hour, or whatever. To me, my level of interest is demonstrated by my ability to compensate. And I feel like that old saying, you do what you want to do. And I always say, if, for example, you have I know Jen relates to this because we're very much aligned on this kind of stuff. But let's just say, for example, you were an aspiring musician or whatever, and you knew there was an opportunity for Beyonce to be somewhere where you could actually talk to her or something like that. And you knew that she was looking for, a member of her band or whatever. I don't know the terminology. I guarantee you would figure out a way to move your schedule around. It's all about what you want to do. And I tell people this when it comes to fitness, when people say oh, I don't really have time. Actually, you do, because you say you don't have 30 minutes to an hour to dedicate to working out. I guarantee if you take your time that you spend scrolling online or on looking at TV, we fritter away that time. It's about making it happen. Or if somebody were to come and put a gun to your head and say, work out right now, don't get off this treadmill for 30 minutes, I guarantee you our life would not crumble. We'd figure out a way to finish our day.
No, I might get shot on that treadmill. Let's be honest.
Sorry. She like, that might be my last day.
Yes, this might be it, God. You calling me home. I know it. This has to be it.
Going up beyond.
I'll go out with a fight, but no, I get it. And I had this guy that I was not dating, who's my cousin actually, and he broke it down to a point of women are nurturers. So it is our natural ability to be accommodating. What are guys? Guys are natural providers. So in their hunt for a woman, or if they're interested in dating someone, it is their willingness to provide. It's not their willingness to say, all right, we have dinner plans at 9. It's like, all right, well, I got a client now at 9. So
interesting. I like this. I'm looking at
this out. You know, suck it up. And it was with that stockbroker guy I was telling you about that I was really, really feeling, and we could never mesh because I just felt like he didn't take me seriously. And my cousin was like, no, he may have, but men aren't as willing to compromise, especially busy and successful men. So do you want somebody with a lot of time and accommodating, or do you want someone that is willing and able to provide?
That's interesting. See, and I feel like it's possible to have both. I feel like, you know, I don't want a guy who's sitting around all day twiddling his thumbs, but at the same time, somebody who's like me, they can control their schedule. And so just like he schedules in a meeting, he can schedule my behind in. That's how I look at it. So, you know, I've had it very successfully with people where we do, I mean, it's not really romantic, but I'm like, I have an opening in the morning, I have an opening at night. Mondays are my shoot days. Don't count on anything. Like, we schedule it out because we both crave that time. Or we'll message each other like, how's it looking? We'll stay in contact. How's it looking? Okay, we can meet at this time. Let me get to Troy's comment. He said, 70% plan and 30% spontaneous. Respect my time. Most of the time, though. He said, Triumph is saying spontaneity is sexy. And again, we're not talking about it in general. Like, I love spontaneity. I would love for someone to just roll up on me and be like, babe, put on something, I'm picking you up. But I'm talking about the initial attraction, the first encounters. This is where you're making that first impression. So I just really want to press that point. Troy says communication about time and expectations would help solve any issues. Though, you guys, I don't have a reading problem. I have a vision problem. My computer is so far away and it's white print on a black background. It's really hard to read. Planning is cool, especially if it's something special. Let's see. I'm a single dad and an artist and primary caregiver for an elderly parent, so I can't plan everything, especially far in advance. Okay, but again, if you communicate that and you let them know, you could even say, hey, I don't know what the weekend is going to look like, but I can keep you posted as things are happening, and then she'll feel, you know, a little bit more of a priority. Jay says that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. What is it? Polarity? Oh, polarity. Yeah, but I don't know. I've let people go who don't give me attention. I can clearly see now my screen is normal. Wait, what? I don't know what he's saying. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony's always participating and bringing good energy. Okay, guys, I feel like I've beaten that question to a pulp. What about midday dates versus a weekend date? So somebody in my private group, which all of you guys are in, I think. Well, most of you guys are in. We're talking about a weekend date. So one girl said, this guy asked me out on a first date. It was for Thursday night. And so I said, oh, the nerve, he asked you out on a Thursday date. And she was like, wait, what? So then there was like two camps, people who were like offended by a midday date, and then other people who didn't see the big deal. So I'm curious. I can definitely guess what Jennifer is going to say on this. And Jen, I'm sorry I said Jen and Jennifer because two Jens, but I think Jen is going to be with me a little bit more. I'm guessing I think Jennifer is going to be a little bit more like laid back, what have you, based on the spontaneity question. But I'm curious to hear you guys and Liz's thoughts as well. So, very first date. Again, we're talking initial attraction, initial dates. He asked you out for the first time and it's on a Tuesday night, a Wednesday night, a Thursday night. Do we care?
Actually, I care.
Little twist.
I care.
I don't mind if I'm not there.
You guys are completely the opposite of what
Because I feel like the options are a lot different during the week than they are on the weekend. Are you cutting me short because we are hanging out on a random Monday versus a Saturday night when things are limitless? You can, well, right now, of course, things are limited, but usually in a normal setting, you can go to dinner and then you can, like, all right, dinner was great. Let's go to a movie. After the movie, the bowling alley might be open. Let's go bowling. You know, it's like the night goes on and on and on. But on a Monday, all we have is dinner.
And if he works at 9 to 5, he's got to get up in the morning, so he can't stay up late.
Exactly. So I feel like it would I be disappointed about a first date during the week? Maybe not, but I would prefer a weekend.
Okay. And my thought is, because somebody said, what if he just wants to see you? And that's the thing. We're talking about dates 1 through 3. So if I was a dude,
see me, how you can? Yeah, that's that good old FaceTime.
Yeah,
your FaceTime.
If it's dates 1 through 3, if I'm a guy, I'm calling you in advance. I'm letting you know in advance that you are top priority as far as like seeing you. That I really want to see you. I want to give as much time for you to be able to commit, and then I'm gonna pick a Saturday night. To me, Saturday night is the gold star day of the week because Friday night, you're burnt out from working if you work a 9 to 5. So you're burnt out. You're not as fresh. Saturday, you have all day to get ready as a woman. You can do your spa day, your little treatment, take a hot bath, make yourself feel so sexy, and then meet him at the date, and you know you don't have to get up in the morning. Sunday, yes, you have time during the day, but you have Monday tapping at the back of your mind going, don't forget, ma'am, I'm here for you tomorrow. So that's why Saturday is the golden day. Somebody said, a guy actually said, what did he say? I'm asking her out on a midweek day first because basically that is the top day. And you got to work your way to earn a Saturday. I was like, ooh. It was such a turn off. But so he actually thought the same thing as me. And it was like, I'm not going to waste my weekend until I know she's worth it. And for me, I don't even want you to go out with me if you haven't decided that I'm worth it. Like, you should have enough conversations with me where you're at least intrigued and want to. So, I mean, I'm different that way. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think. Do you feel like there's more value on a Saturday night date versus a Tuesday date? What about you, Liz? I saw you nodding a little bit.
I think it's both. Like, I think it depends on how you look at it. I think that if I want to look at it as, well, how bad do you want to see me? Then you can schedule it on a weekday. Mm-hmm. But then you know that our time is limited, so then you're going to maybe pack as much into that conversation at dinner as possible, and then schedule another one for Saturday. Just do both. You know, so it just...
And that would be romantic.
I know, girl.
If he was like, because I think I had somebody do that one time where it was like, we had a weekend date planned. I just can't wait till Saturday. Now that's cute.
Exactly. I think it just depends, you know, how much are you into that person? Because if it's Monday or if it's Sunday today and you're going to wait till next Saturday, there's a lot of people that can come between Monday and Friday to take up your time on Saturday.
But you know what? Like, I hear what you're saying, but I kind of feel what Yonci is saying too, because it's like, on a Monday, I think you should at least know that you want to spend time with someone if you're asking them out. And if somebody's asking you out during the week where your time is limited, that means they may not be feeling you and need a kind of a reassurance of a different type of connection, like a different chemistry. If you don't have the same chemistry all the time on the phone that you have in person. So that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday date may be like, all right, I like her. She's cute. Let me see if we have that personal connection face to face because she's dry as stale rye toast on the phone. You know, it's like if you give your Saturday to somebody, that is the golden day. It's like, all right, we keep the party going. We start at 5 and the night is young.
So flip it back then. If he is having to buffer himself and say, I don't know. I don't want to be that girl that you're, I don't know. I only want to go out with the guy who's like, yeah, I can't wait for
Saturday. And it's like, okay, so I if it's spontaneous though, like, all right, you free, I'm free. Let's meet up. And it happens to be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, fine. But like if we're planning and the date is on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's like, yeah.
Jay says you wouldn't know if he wanted to see you on Saturday if you don't take the Thursday date. I disagree. I think conversations and FaceTimes can do wonder. He said, I do a midweek date because most women have plans on the weekend and will most likely be unavailable. I feel like that's some crap. Especially during COVID. I was like COVID-19.
You.
Yeah, honestly, because I know women who will move hell and back. I mean, they can practically be going to labor.
I got a date. I'm sorry.
Look. Sorry, Mom. We're going to get our pay another weekend. Like, yeah. And you're planning a week in advance. So that's like saying she had plans for the weekend weeks in advance. And there's no wiggle room. Like, I don't know. I don't buy that. I don't buy it at all. I think the only time a midweek date is cool is if you have an established chemistry and you're both are kind of like, you're not really invested, and it's like, I don't have anything else to do on Tuesday. But I feel like if you really like somebody, give them the good stuff. Give them the Saturday. All right, so note to self. I will not be using my my phone. Oh, that's right. I forgot to put Do Not Disturb on. See, note to self, all these little things. So I found this really cool service that allows you to use your phone for Wi-Fi webcam, but I forgot to hit Do Not Disturb, so calls kicked me off. So sorry, guys, for the little cat emoji that pops up when the thing goes down, apparently. If you do a midday, okay, I already read that comment. I think Trinicia had something earlier. She said, I don't mind midweek dates due to the fact that I work some weekends. It depends, however. And to me, see, now, if somebody asks me out and say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, I have plans. And then he follows that up by saying, oh, I don't want to wait 2 weeks to see you. Is there any way we can see each other during the week? That's okay, because you already tried, and I'm the reason you didn't have it. But I don't want him leading with that. Okay. We're going to be all over the map on this one. How often do you want to be texted? So let's go to the dating app scenario. You guys met online. You had your initial phone call. There's definitely chemistry. You're kind of feeling a little butterflies, like, oh, this could be something potential. He's hotter than his picture. And then the next day, how often do you want him to text you?
I don't care.
Jen is going to get a date by the end of this call. Like, she is flexible. She is open.
I mean, if it's within reason, like, 4 o'clock in the morning might be weird. Like, you can't wait until 8 to say, hey, but no, I don't care. Like, we could text. Here again, it's not a phone conversation. So I can text all day and be into it, because.
So what if so it's the day after your great conversation, and let's say he doesn't text you until 8:30 that next night. You're not feeling away?
9 times out of 10, I've said good morning or, hey, how's your day going? It was nice chatting with you yesterday. But again, like, I have been trying to channel my feminine energy. So I am learning patience and to let men lead, which has been very complicated for me in the past. So would I feel a certain way? The next day, like after our initial conversation, no. Now, 2 weeks later, maybe. Okay.
So what about you, Liz? You guys had an awesome conversation. The next day comes, the next day goes, and at night, he's sending you a text.
Now, if it's my birthday, you better be telling me good morning, happy birthday, but...
I would say do not wait till 8:30 that next
night. I like how you said that.
Because I'm going to be like, oh, well, that great conversation was just a fluke. So clearly you're not interested.
Right.
You couldn't tell me good morning. You couldn't say, that was a great conversation. I had a good time yesterday. I hope your day went well. If that's all you can say if you're that busy, then just say that. But don't just wait. Yeah. And then I'm not saying, well, you can text all day. Like, I'm flexible. Sometimes I'm in meetings, so I just need to text. We could text all day.
Yeah. And I think a lot of guys say, you know, I don't, they go off of feedback they got from another woman, but it's usually a woman who's not interested. Oh, I seem thirsty, or oh, I did this too much. When a woman is into a guy, it's rare that we complain and say he's doing something too much. It's just very rare. Hey, Tamika.
Hey.
Hi, Tamika.
Sorry, I couldn't. I'm using my phone this time for broadcasting, so I couldn't respond to your text. I so apologize, but I'm glad that Liz was able to get you the information. So
It's okay. Thank you.
yes, we are super cash today. All right, so right now we're talking about how often we want to be texted or called. So this is the day after. This segment we're on right now is the initial attraction. So you just met this guy online. Well, you met this guy recently online through an app or social media or however, and you guys had a bomb phone conversation or FaceTime, but you definitely established chemistry. You guys are vibing. The next day comes. How often are you wanting him to reach out to you? Because I said, well, what if he waits until 8:30 at night to send that first text of the day? Like, hey, it was great talking to you yesterday.
I think I get that though. I mean, it could be the nervousness because I've been in a situation where I was totally not vibing and he totally was. And was like, yeah, so what we gonna go on the next day? And I was like, that was the worst day ever. Like, are you serious right now?
Awkward.
It was the worst. It was so crazy. And I was like, surely you're kidding. And he's like, no, like it was amazing. And I'm like, no.
We were on two separate dates, sir.
Yes. So I think I kind of get it. It's probably that initial nervousness. Like you can assume, you know, I don't even know how he assumed that because there was nothing about my body language that said that I enjoyed that day.
Nothing.
But I kind of get it. You know what I mean? I mean, realistically, yeah, you know, especially if you're vibing with someone, you want them to reach out. You want them to, you know, like, and I really enjoyed the date. But if they don't and it's later in the day, I'm not completely butthurt about it. Because I can understand that. It's almost like that.
They don't want to seem too thirsty, kind of.
That double dutch. It's like, I don't want to put myself
like
out there.
Yeah.
And so that can happen.
I am less forgiving, you guys. I am ruthless. I am like, sir, I'm going to need you in my face. I need you to communicate.
But guess what? Okay, so I'm going to pull your coattail. You may miss some great opportunities that way, too. Just kind of, you know what I mean? Some guys that
really... You're like, fine. Whatever, I missed it. We ain't a match.
Yeah, and that may not necessarily be true, though.
Wasn't my blessing if I missed it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I hear you. I really do hear you. And in my older years, I have tried to give people the benefit of the doubt. And because this is the catch-22. I feel like if I give someone too much of the cheat code, they could cheat. I feel like if I don't give them the cheat code, they could flounder innocently. So it's this tightrope for me where it's like, I don't want to teach you because if I have to tell you to call me, you probably aren't a caller type of person, like a frequent caller. And then that might be something I'm consistently dealing with down the road where I'm like, babe, could you communicate more? You know, so it's this tightrope. It's a tightrope.
That's true though.
And I so feel how you started is how you gonna finish it. So
I agree.
Definitely will miss some opportunities doing that, Jason. I can just hear him right now. I can hear him in my head. Yeah.
Right now, like I've learned how to compromise a lot more.
What's that?
Compromising?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Well, my biggest fear is like being an old maid because I have like what Chili wants expectations, you know, and the men that I enjoy are alpha men, and they aren't going to compromise. So it's like either I can learn to be a lady.
Preach.
Right? And learn that not everything I get will be what I prefer to not be single. But what do I want more? To be single and get my way from dating, or to be married, and I prefer marriage.
Somebody had the nerve to tell me that I wouldn't get everything I wanted in a relationship. What audacity.
And I'm the spoiled brat. So it's definitely been a learning curve. But I get it, Yonci. Like, I've had all these expectations of men because I've had stand-up men in my life. I'm not a woman that has not had a father. Like, I have my father, a stepfather. I've had my 2 grandfathers. I had a great-grandfather. Like, I've had love from men, so I know what it seems like. But in search of a husband that is an alpha male, that is fairly successful, I have to learn how to give a little to receive. So it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong. Very frustrating. But I don't want to be 60 years old and like...
So let me write down these... Still
asking my married girlfriends to go on a girls trip. I don't want to do that.
Okay, I'm going to learn these new words. Compromise, give in, alter my... We sound them out. I'm going to look them up after.
Write down 60-year-old wanting girls trip. Write that down in bold.
I can have my way all by myself.
You don't want to be that friend, Yonci.
I want to be that friend.
All your friends are married and you want that girls trip and they're like, yeah, no, we're going on a couple.
Yeah, I don't want to be that friend either.
Sorry, Yonci, we're going on a couples trip this year.
Right. Oh, no, you can't bring your cousin. Yeah. Oh my God, y'all making me cry. So yeah, I'm so set in my ways, and I think the older we get, the more set in our ways we get. But it's like, my problem is that my way is the right way. So if I compromise, we're going to be doing it the wrong way. Let me just move right along.
Yeah, because I'm really set in, I'm more flexible than I have been before, because it's slim pickings out here now. Like, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, you know? I've had to realize
way is not always the right way now.
What'd you say?
That your way is not always the right way.
It's the right way for her.
How dare you? Someone's about to get blocked from my phone.
It's the right way for her. It works for her. But
no prepositional phrases at the end.
She's going to be like, anybody down for a girls trip 5 years from now?
Right.
I rebuke
all
that.
My friends are married.
I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. My husband will be married next year, y'all. I'm going to be married in 2022. Mark my words.
Hello, manifest it.
I'm going to manifest it. But in all seriousness, did you have anything you wanted to chime in, Liz, before we moved on to the next one? Oh my God, she got me crying. You good? She's so quiet. I love her. I'm so loud. Okay, so we're talking about how often, and then how often do you want to see him? This will be a quick one. How often are we talking? In a month.
Wait, the initial contact?
Yeah, so after the initial contact, like so y'all are vibing. Let's just say you're vibing on a Tuesday. Tuesday comes, Tuesday goes, Wednesday comes, Wednesday goes. He has not asked you out at all. A whole week goes by. So within the first 30 days of meeting, how often do you want him to be asking you out? Whether or not you're available, but...
I don't have a number for it, but...
Me either.
I feel like you should not be able to get enough of me.
Thank you!
I agree.
Yes, Jennifer.
Thank you.
So if you've had enough of me, then chances are you ain't the one, and we gonna move on.
I need a man who is smitten. I need a man who just thinks that I am just...
Especially in those first 30 days. Like, you should be very excitable about the next time you get to see me. Like, I'm that cool of a ticket, you know?
I'm saying, Trinicia said, oh my God, at this rate, I might be on the girls' trip with Yonci. But why are we actually on the girls' trip?
I'm going to be like, Yonci, remember that compromise?
Maybe I can take a Tuesday date. No shade, Trinicia, but... Oh my God, giving in to yield under... Oh, no, he did not break it down! He did not define it. That was sarcasm, sir. I know what it means. It's just out of my vocabulary, okay? That is foreign to me, foreign language. Oh,
that's like, I don't compromise with the word no. Like, I don't understand that. There's no meaning.
Oh, my God.
Not no.
So I'm so I'm so upset. I switched my little graphics over. This was supposed to be first impressions. And I had the graphics for the next slide. Oh, I can't stand it. Y'all know me and my graphics. Ugh, whatever. Well, now we're going to talk about initial attraction. Jeez Louise. What attracts you? So besides the physical, because obviously we all have different specifications. We might like dark or light or bearded or not bearded, tall, short, whatever. But what attracts you to a man? What is it that stands out? So let's just say, for example, you had two twins. Is that a double? You had twins.
I was like, two twins.
Yeah.
Two sets of twins or twins?
Just twins. One set of twins. Which this actually happened. I remember there was a Ryan and Brian set of twins in my high school.
I know a Ryan and Brian.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're twins?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Identical.
Wow. These are identical too. Okay. The last name doesn't start with an E, does it?
No.
Okay, that would have been crazy. So I had a crush on one and not the other. For YouTube purposes, I won't say which one. Big old crush on one and not the other, but they were identical twins. So what is it about a guy that attracts you to him? Like, what are some of the top qualities that just make you, woo, hair blow back?
So I haven't always, it's not always physical for me. I don't always have, like, handsome men. It's more of, like, the personality for me.
And that's what I mean. What non-physical qualities?
It's charisma. You know, it's how, like, if I meet a person face to face, like, if we meet out somewhere, it's your interaction with me, the chemistry. It's just, chemistry.
Right.
You know, and if you're not necessarily I'm not saying I'll date a butt ugly person. I don't know if I could, but
a facially challenged person.
Yeah.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah, not him at all. Like, I can't. Not even on the Flavor of Love. Like, he would not be able to do it. But it's chemistry for me. I am a communicator, and if you communicate well, then and we vibe, then that's more attractive to me than the physical aspect.
And by the way, I should have asked this. For those of you who would like to share your city, feel free to share your city. Stranger things have happened with social media, so there could be some eligible bachelors watching this who is like,
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and I travel. There you go.
Woo! Praise him. Why do it? No pressure for the other ones, but just blurt it out if you do later. What other physical aspects, I'm sorry, besides physical, what other aspects really draw you to a man?
So, well, I'm Dallas, Texas. And
Hello.
I love Dallas.
But for me, you have to be funny. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't make me laugh, we probably have nothing. Because that's like the way.
Yeah.
If you can make me laugh, I'm probably like a quarter already in love with you. But if you don't have a laughing,
Go together. I laughed at you. Come on.
Lay back, throw some good jokes, not dry. I'm just like, that wasn't it.
Not knock
I'm more of a dry.
Okay.
I'm a dry humor.
Yes, I live for dry humor.
I'm highly sarcastic, like heavily sarcastic.
Yes.
That's why you didn't take me seriously when I said I don't know what compromise means.
Right? Yeah. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Some people
don't
do
be
not get my
crazy.
humor at all.
Yeah, just relax. Go with the flow. Like, let's just joke. Like, I'm probably only 20% serious in my entire day.
Triumphant said,
Everything
"Can he?"
joke.
Liz, he said, "Sorry to cut you off." He said, "Can he be funny at 5'5"?
5 feet.
Or 5.5? Yeah, 5 feet. 5 feet. 5.5 feet tall is what I'm trying to say. So 5 feet 6. What? Like she said. It says the woman who's 6 foot tall.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm 5'2", so I
You
couldn't
couldn't
wear
do
my
that.
4-inch heels. That's
Okay, so at least she's taller than you. He's not gonna be taller than Liz, though. Yeah, no, that's no. Yeah, but we did say after physical attraction. So once you have the physical, and I agree with you on the laughter. So there's a guy who makes me laugh like to the point where I cannot breathe. And I have to say that is definitely something that is endearing. You know, if you can, like if I actually have to tell you, like, please stop, we need a safe word because you make me laugh so hard. I don't even have asthma, but I feel like I'm an asthma attack. That's a good. What you said?
Right, that part.
I literally, like, I have a friend who makes me laugh so hard, it becomes physically uncomfortable because I can't catch my breath. And he'll just keep going. He'll do these, like, bits and, like, characters, and I'm like, because we're based, I'm like, because I can't breathe. Like, you too doggone funny.
That is too funny.
I love a good chuckle.
Yeah.
Me too.
Sorry, I jumped all on you, Liz. Did you want to finish your thought before I go to Tamika?
Oh no, that was it. Just make me laugh.
Okay.
And you got me.
So what is something that's really going to drive you crazy in a good way, Miss Tamika?
I think y'all pretty much named everything, but someone who can have an intellectual conversation. You know what I mean? I don't want no super deep, but you know what I mean? To be able to talk to me.
Yes.
Have different levels to your personality.
How many? What now?
I said have different levels to your personality. Like we can joke and kid and then be able to move into
yes.
multifaceted, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a huge turn on.
Okay. I know for me, I like it when someone is intellectually intelligent. Intellectually intelligent? That was ironic of me to mess up my words there. Emotionally intelligent. This is water, not wine.
That part.
I don't want to when a person can, they know how to navigate. They know when to be kind, when to be playful. It's nice when they're not one-dimensional. Because it's like, we as women, we're multifaceted. So there's sexy time. And then there's time to, if I'm pouring my heart out to you and talking about my family problems, I don't need you to tell me how great my boobs look. That's probably not the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, be able to, and if I'm, sharing my goals and dreams, not the time to joke. So a guy who knows how to move in the different lanes seamlessly is like, beautiful.
They know how to pick their spots.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
I don't know if I've ever met someone like that.
Me either.
Is that a unicorn, Yonci?
They exist.
Yeah.
They exist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
We need to write that one down. We need to write that one down.
Taking notes. Are you taking notes? Write that down for me.
Put that on your manifestation.
Yes. Let me add this to that for work back here.
No, there's...
Right. Have me a Sierra moment.
So I'm going to actually throw this in the end. If everybody is interested, I want to talk about the last video that I did towards the end. So don't let me forget. Actually, I'm going to write this down. But for those of you who are watching right now, comment if you saw my video about dating without titles. Because I think this will be a very interesting debate that we can have at the end. Okay? So comment, that you saw the video. Just say yes or no. Yes, I saw the video dating without titles, or no, because that is going to be an interesting conversation that I want to hear from you ladies. Okay. How do you guys show that you are interested? So let's say this is a person who's in your circle in some way. Like he's in your sphere of influence. He's someone on your social. You have contact in some way, but you guys don't know each other. How do you get his attention or try to get his attention? Don't everyone speak at once. And we'll say online, because I want to give people the answer online.
No, it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's just I'm trying to get away from being as forward as I am. And I literally will be, because if I'm liking your pictures and interacting and showing interest, you know that I'm interested, right?
Okay.
And if you still haven't said anything, I'll probably be the one in the DMs like, so you have a girlfriend? Question mark.
I done already invested.
Because you see that I'm interested, like,
But how do you know? How do you know if you're just not his flavor? Because that's where my brain goes. I'm like, he's not.
I don't care. Then tell me.
I love it. I wanted to do a church lap really quick, and I remembered I was on a YouTube live. Oh.
Block me. Like, don't have me keep liking your stuff. You know why I'm liking your stuff.
She said, block me. Y'all, I'm trying not to do my laugh, because my laugh is really a squeal. And I'm trying.
Block me. I mean, come on.
I am obsessed with you right now.
Liking your stuff. I got better stuff to be doing than...
She said, go on and block me, because I know how to block you if I need be. I love that. I am... Golf clap for you, girl. Liz, how are you getting his attention?
I'm not. Like, I'm very shy. Okay, you already said it. I'm quiet. I'm shy. If there was a guy that I'm interested in...
I'm shy, surprisingly, guys. Like, I'm really shy.
Where?
Seriously.
She's shy right here.
No. Like, if
I'm really shy.
If you ask for, let's say on Facebook, let's say you ask for a friend request, and I'm like, oh, yes, he looks good. I just need you to come in my inbox. Or I'm like,
why is he friend requesting if he's not interested? Like, I have a problem with that, too.
But I get a lot of friend requests, and guys just won't say anything. So if I think, like, okay, I don't want to let this one go, I will like his picture. I will watch his stories. But if after that, I don't do anything else.
Okay.
I'm too shy. I don't.
Trinicia says she's
interested. Then I'm gonna be like, so you have a girlfriend.
Trinicia says I now slide into his DMs and introduce myself. So here's my issue. I am not an equal opportunity DM slider because of this. I believe that because so long over the course of history, men have been the pursuers. They have not built up their no button. Just like women over time have been the receivers, a lot of them haven't built up their, initiate button. So there are guys I feel who don't feel comfortable telling a woman no. And they will engage because they feel flattered and they don't know what else to do. That is my fear. Not to say that like I'm going to go out and just start sliding in DMs, but I'm just saying I have talked to many men because I ask questions, of the group just to get data or what have you. And so many guys said, not only do they have a hard time telling a woman no when they get asked out or, she shows attention, they won't even get out of a full-on relationship, which is why so many men cheat. So I'm just going to throw that out there, that you might slide in the DM and get a response, but do you know if it's just a sympathy response?
I don't care.
I told you I was trying to squeal. Oh, Lord. I got to look at my
You're going to love me once.
She said, but you're going to love me.
You're going to love me.
You're going to love me. Y'all making me cry. I'm trying to keep this eyeliner on. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, no, it's sympathy or not. Like, that's on you, buddy. That's a you problem.
I love that energy, though.
Triumph
TV says, wait, I agree with her, but some women do the same thing. Allow a dude to spend $800,000. What are you doing?
Yes,
I cannot.
I can't fake.
They have not. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So, almost called you Trinicia. Tamika, I'm like, I know this woman's name. Why am I having a senior moment? I had a whole senior moment right now. Like, child.
Hey.
What is your thoughts on getting a man's attention? Oh God, that was so funny.
I'm like Liz. I am not going to. He either is after or.
Okay. No. And Trinicia says she's not talking about her batting average, so she said there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
Let me explain a little bit, because I don't, on some of my social media, I don't talk about being single. So a lot of times I feel like guys may not pursue because they don't know if you're dealing with, and guys don't handle rejection at all well. You know, it's like, all right, and that's why they keep trying. Like, okay, you got a man, but you're answering my DM. Like, no, I'm being polite. So I think that's why sometimes they need that nudge a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I get what you all are saying. Like I have not for a number of people, but sometimes, like if it's somebody I'm really interested in, yeah.
But see, this is the other thing. The whole how you start is how you finish. My thing is, if you were scared to step to me, what other areas are you going to be, quote unquote, timid in? I was going to use a different word. I'm going to say timid.
Really? You be real
timid though?
Yeah, just.
I have had,
maybe you just don't. Maybe I don't always present myself as approachable either.
I have had quite a few men say that they had to really work the nerve up, or they say, "I know your DMs are popping, so to step up is just really whatever." But to me, there is nothing sexier than a man who steps up and comes for what he wants. That energy that you're showing, Jen, of I saw what I wanted, it's up to you to reject me. That energy is intoxicating. I'm talking like, can we turn on the fan? Can I get a wet towel? Like when a man. But if
that were the case, would we all be single?
No.
We have to figure out why we are all single. Why are we single?
It's more than that for me. That's not going to do it for me.
Well, no, I don't think that's the only thing. But what I'm saying is, when a man has that energy, it's like, ooh. When he said, like, or if I know it's hard to believe, but I'm very outgoing and I'm very opinionated. I know it's a stretch to imagine.
Wow.
I know. Just picture it. So when I have a guy who has that sit down energy, that, you know, man, you're doing too much. I got this.
Yeah.
It is intoxicating because I will run circles around a dude. So I guess my personality type, and I don't mean I'm aggressive. Do not get it twisted. I am not a woman who needs to be handled. But what I'm saying is I'm very authoritative. I am very outspoken.
Definitive.
Yes. Like I don't beat around the bush. I'm not that chick who's like, I don't know what I want to eat. I'm like, I want Popeye's 3-piece. Like I just know what I want. So I need a guy who is able to say, you don't scare me. Sit down somewhere. And I'm picking the restaurant. I need that energy. You know, the restaurant is an example. I do want to pick the restaurant. But anyways, we're working on my control issues. So if I have a guy who's like, I didn't know if you're going to like say yeah. It doesn't work for me. If you hide in the shadows.
So I've had a guy like that you're describing. But again, he wasn't the initial, like he kept liking my pictures and he was showing me interest. But never, like, slid in my DM or any of that. And finally, I was like, what are you doing?
And how did that work out?
Are you going to ask me out or what? Like, at this point. You know, so, and he was that person. Like, I'd be like, I'm ready to go. And he'd be like, no, sit down. You're going to enjoy it. Yeah, I am. Okay, I'll sit. So, it's, sometimes we might not present ourselves in a way of wanting that type of attention.
I do work very hard at not being approachable online, for sure.
You said what?
I work very hard at not being approachable online, like for sure. Because I'm not here.
I don't think I'm approachable at all.
Like I literally say it. I discourage people from going on my DM. Because I'm trying to work. Like, this is my platform to work. Like, I'm not, I don't want to encourage DMs. Like,
you want to keep it separate from.
Completely. For me. Yeah. So, I know my energy presents as, like, so if you get through all of that, whoa, buddy. The lady in the top.
I'm not approachable at all.
He says, Jen, that you remind him of Callie. Is it Callie? From Insecure. Too funny. I think I'm reading Callie correctly. I haven't seen that show in a long time.
Now I gotta go figure out who is Kelly.
I think
she's best friend. Yeah, you do.
I gotta go back and look now.
Molly?
No.
Callie.
No, her other two friends.
I don't know which one is Kelly. I'm about to Google it. Don't.
Kallie. That's or Kalli is how he spelled it.
JALLI.
Okay, so here's my other question. I was totally guilty of this until I talked to guys and found this out. So guys, believe it or not, get nervous, which I did not know that. You know, guys get nervous. They don't know if they're going to be rejected. And I think the higher the stakes, the more they like the woman, the more nervous they can get, which I think it's fine. Just don't let it stop you from doing something. Well, for me, I used to have this two-week rule where I needed them to demonstrate how into me they were before I let my guard down and then started to respond back. Or not let my guard down, but let them know that I was interested back. And the guys got me together very quickly in our group and said he could genuinely have good intentions and really like you, but if you only return phone calls and only respond to text messages, it could send a mixed message that you're not really interested. And so that was a game changer for me, that I had to get rid of that rule. And so I wanted to know if you guys are the same way. If you initially, not when you're in a relationship, but when you first meet somebody and you're vibing, Jen, I know your answer, clearly. But do you guys wait before you initiate phone calls and texts? Do you wait before you're like, hey, I had a great time, I can't wait to see you again? Or you jump right in?
Mm-mm. I don't wait.
Actually, I have waited.
Y'all keep flipping the script on me. Right when I think I have you pegged.
I have waited.
No, if I have enjoyed, like, my last relationship, no sooner than we met actually on business. And I was smitten, honestly. And I remember texting for the first time ever in life. I reached out to him and was like, hey, like, I know this is so unprofessional. However, I would really like to get to know you outside of business.
Oh, you made the first move.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. And it turned into a 3.5-year relationship, but, you know, just trying to I did something different, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I reached out afterwards and was like, hey, I really enjoyed that lunch meeting. Like, I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, did you see anything during the relationship where he was passive, or was he aggressive?
I'll leave that alone. It turned out to be something different, but it started out.
Okay, and but that's why I'm curious, because I'm like, the theory, yeah. Liz, what about you? You're going out, you went out on a date, or you guys have been talking. Are you letting him take the lead, or are you going to initiate calls during that first 2 weeks?
No, I'll initiate. I mean, not the first date. Like, if we have a first date, the next day, you need to initiate. Now, the next day after that, I'll initiate.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Excuse me. And then it is a free flow after that. But there are some people who are like counting, like, oh, you didn't reach out, so then I didn't reach out. And I'm just like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
How many times I reach out and how many times you reach out?
Why are we counting? Yes.
Yeah, this is like a tit for tat. Like,
yeah. Right.
I'm not doing. I'm too old. I don't have time for that.
Y'all, I'm trying to be great with this doggone. Tonight is just, you know what? Someone needs to just give me an assistant and give me a whole production team so I could just be great and not have to keep worrying about.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yes, let me speak that into the universe.
It's coming.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into the last segment, and then we're going to talk about that video that I said that I really want to get into and hear you guys' input on. Excuse me. The last segment is deal breakers. What did he say? You're going to HR, Miss Lady. Oh, talking about that lunch date follow-up call. Okay, yeah, Jay says, yeah, if a woman doesn't call you or text you, then it's a wrap. She's not that into you, and then
I agree.
The alternatives slide in. But that's the thing. It doesn't always mean she's not interested if she was old school like me. I had to learn that I was sending the signal that I wasn't interested, when in reality, I was very much thirsty. So that's that. All right, so deal breakers. To say this with a straight face. Ladies, are you willing to grow with a man? Let's say, for example, he has a job and he decides, you know what? I have a passion. Now, we're not talking about rapping, okay? This not a 40-year-old aspiring rapper. We all know those types. But let's just say he really has a passion. And, I mean, look at me. I was 40 years old and I left my job and I started it from the bottom, living off of savings and, like, you know, trying to catapult myself. As a woman dating a man, are you willing to date a guy in my shoes? We'll just put it that directly. Let's say he wants to start this career. He's, wants to be an author or yada, yada, yada. Hey, good evening, sir or ma'am. I can't read that far. PHE something. Oh, phenomenon. Okay, sir, ma'am, good evening. Are you guys dating a guy starting at the bottom?
So it's not the bottom if you have a savings to live off of.
True.
So if you have a savings to live off of, yes, come on. What we need to do? What do you need help with?
Oh.
But if you're at the bottom, no savings, no 401k, we can't cash into anything, or you have nothing, then you need to keep that job until you got something to be able to build off of. But if there is a savings and you are able to sustain yourself and grow from there, of course, yes. Okay. All in.
I like that. Now, I completely forgot. I keep forgetting because I get so caught up in the conversation. If you guys are watching and you have not yet hit the like button, do me a huge favor, please, and hit that, not for my own vanity. It's so that YouTube knows that this is good stuff, and they will push it out to more people. So the more you guys engage, which I don't have to tell you that, you're engaging a lot, it helps, and the more you like, and that way we can push this content out and bump out things like World Star. I'm just kidding. But no, it's very helpful for my channel if you guys engage and let me know if you're liking it. So thank you for that little PSA. Okay, same question for Liz and Tamika. We'll start with Liz. And also, do you care, that does answer my question, this next question though, for Jen. Do you care if you make more than him, especially if it's considerably more? So that two-part question for you, Liz. Are you willing to grow with him starting from almost the bottom? And do you care if you make considerably more than him?
I think that he needs to have some kind of direction. Oh, Jennifer, you want to go?
I don't want to make more money. That's not what I was saying at all.
I love her.
No, take it back. Take it back. No, that's not what I meant at all. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry, Tamika. Whew.
Y'all got the vein popping out of my head. Okay. Whew.
No, absolutely not. No.
That's not your testimony?
No.
Okay. She said retract, bring that tape back. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. What did she
They
say?
got hot.
Just liked. Oh, thank you so much, love. Oh my God. Okay. Y'all can't make me laugh and makeup up. Okay.
Ooh, I'm sorry, but no.
Okay.
You needed to bring that 2 part out first. So I could tell you the part 1, then the 2.
But if he's living off his savings might not be that
savings might be hefty, ma'am.
Might.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Not that kind of growth.
I'm gonna need you to have your strong muscles together.
You need to have a sprout somewhere, a little bit.
Have that garden tended too.
Yes.
Okay, Liz, what are your thoughts?
I think he needs to have like direction and drive. Like, I don't want to meet you. You're 44, and you're like, oh well, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do maybe this, maybe that, maybe that, and I'm just like, you don't know what direction you want to go in.
But what if he is like dead set? I want to be a motivational speaker. This is the course that I planned out. I've been dreaming about it for 5 years, and he just quit his job, and he is living frugally for the next 12 months trying to make this dream come true.
As long as he has a plan, if I can see your plan and see you going after that plan, then yeah, you know what? I could push you. I could motivate you to keep going. But if after like a year or two and you just sit on the couch and not doing nothing,
that is the key.
My experience, so when they met, my dad wanted to start a business. She said, you have a year and a half to get together or you need to go find another job. In that year and a half, he got together and been successful for 46 years.
I love that, Liz.
Me too.
The couch.
I actually know a girl that invested in her husband's business. You know, she met him. He was a mechanic at someone else's garage, and now they have 4 or 5 shops that he runs. It's his business, not even just in Ohio, you know, and that's a successful story too.
I think it's tough because it is a gamble. So for me, it's about looking at their character. And Liz, you hit the nail on the head. I'm going to judge you. If you're telling me that you have these goals and you have these dreams, I'm going to look and see if your words and your actions match. Because anybody can talk about what they want to do. Oh, I want to lose weight. I know a guy, I coached, and he was with somebody who said, oh, I want to lose weight. But she was eating junk food. She wasn't working out. And it's like, okay, but that was your goal. So it's hard to believe. And like for me, like I said, I literally don't have time to watch TV. I don't have time to hang out. Jen, who was on here earlier, man, she's sent me so many messages. Girl, you never hang out. I don't. I said, I'm not going to have a life for at least 12 months. Because I am so dedicated. Anytime you see me, anybody who calls me knows my butt is going to be in this office chair, sitting at my desk, or shooting back there in my little YouTube studio. I grind every single day, all I do. And so if somebody tells me I want to do X, Y, Z, and I don't see the hustle that I at least have, I'm questioning. And especially as a woman, because we are kind of raised to want the man to be the provider. So if you don't feel that safety, that feeling, even if you have your own, that feeling of safety, psychologically, it'll do something. But I love what Liz said about that year, because I think a year is enough time to kind of really see what somebody has going on for themselves. And it's like, look, I didn't just jump ship when I saw your situation. I stuck around, but you spent your time hanging out, going to bars, and you spent your time playing PlayStation. You spent your time just sitting around not doing anything. You can get a lot done in a year. And I think that even if after the year things weren't thriving, if you saw progress and you saw this person was getting momentum, that would make you want to go. Because you do hear these stories about people who believed in the other person, and it's like, wow. But you do hear a lot of other stories about people who just sit on a couch and don't do anything. So, trying to figure it out. What about you, Tamika?
You said everything I was going to say.
Well,
I would watch
God.
your act. I'm good. I'm anybody's cheerleader. Anytime you get to know me, you know that I always have my pom-poms out for anybody. I don't care if you want to bake a new chocolate chip cookie. I'm like, hey, let me go get the flour. What kind of flour do you need? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think, and I've been in that situation. So, and it worked out for that person. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, but if your actions, I don't even think it takes a year. If you 3 months in and you still playing PlayStation, haven't moved anywhere, then I would have to question, how hungry. I always say this, when you're hungry, you eat.
Mm-hmm. Then you eat what you kill.
Absolutely. And so if you're not killing, then you ain't hungry enough. So you're
gonna be not hungry all by yourself. Okay, 2 more questions, and then we're going to go on to the debate that I want to have. All right, if he admitted to cheating in a past relationship, not literally the last one, but like he has admitted to at some point in his dating career triggered. He has admitted at some point in his dating career to have cheated. Is he getting a chance with you, or is he out the gate? No.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
From my personal experience, I'll never do it again.
Once a cheater, always a cheater?
I honestly, it literally takes Jesus to take hold of a cheater and,
set him free.
You got to really have a Jacob moment once you have opened yourself up to cheat. Like, you really have to have a Jacob moment. So, if someone discloses that to me, moving forward, I will never do it again.
Okay. It's very interesting. And you're making me think, because I've done content where I talked about the motivations for cheating. And a lot of times it's out of an insecurity. They need an itch scratched. They don't feel, because you hear a lot of times people say, well, I wasn't getting this there. So that's a weakness in character. And then 2 is just a lack of, the obvious one is a lack of self-control, which is self-discipline. But there's also the, oh God, what was the other one? Because it was the non-obvious. You're obviously not disciplined if you can't control yourself. You want the flattery. And I can't remember the other one, but to me, it's like, that's what I'm looking at. Like, what is the reason that you did do that? Because it is a decision. and you're saying, despite everything that can come, I want to do this. You could break up, but instead of that, you're making this choice. So, yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm good.
What about you, Liz?
I think it depends on when it happened. Like if someone says, back in my play days when he was like 20 and now he's 40, then I'm like, okay, well, fine. But if someone says, well, yeah, when I was married, I cheated. No,
the
maybe
whole
not.
relationship.
Yeah,
Right.
like that was a commitment that you broke. Like you couldn't just talk about it and go through that. But if it was back in the day, I probably wouldn't hold as much weight to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
We all were back in the day. It's not the same person that you were today.
Thank God for Jesus.
Hear me.
And Jen, what are your thoughts? Are we taking Peter back? Or
I
taking
was hoping you wouldn't notice me.
She's like,
I think all men cheat at some point in any relationship.
I'm good. I got to be single. That's
Man.
the thought process. And I think I think that's probably why we have the issues we do with society, because as women, we've accepted that from generation to generation to generation to generation. And at some point in time, it's like, dude, if I got to practice self-control, listen, I get pressure too. That's the problem. Big Mama had pressure too. Big Mama had it going on. She had to practice a level of discipline. And so I think we've accepted that foolishness from generation to generation. I'm not receiving that. I'm sorry.
You're going to pass on
I'm
that.
over it. I just need to be single.
What if he has a highly toxic relationship with his child's mother? You guys have an amazing relationship. Chemistry is off the chain. But he and his ex hate each other, and it is tension every time they have to communicate. Are we passing him by?
Absolutely.
She said, absolutely.
No,
Right.
take children.
Well, how do you effectively take care of a child that's in the middle of a toxic environment between the two parents?
You can, because typically, I did a live on this yesterday. You can, because a lot of the times these baby mamas still have heartstrings. And so a man can 100% still take care of his kids. She's held up. I done been there, done that. She's stuck. And so just because you still have heartstrings don't mean that I can't effectively
But
make
if
sure that
she's
I take care of her.
stuck, then she's going to present that issue with his new...
Not when the courts are involved, she's not.
Maybe where you are, they are, but in Ohio,
Here, you will like
they
me and
don't
not
enforce them the way that they
every other
should.
week. I'm coming to get my kids. There's nothing you can do about that. You feel what I'm saying? So, and when child support order is in place, there's, and you got visitation rights. What, you gonna go to jail for contempt?
Well, that's what I'm saying. In Ohio, there is no contempt. It's
Got you.
she didn't show up for the planned visitation and tough cookies. Or a woman, it presents an issue, or it can present an issue in the relationship with your current significant other because you're around and she has a hardship from what she's holding from the past, can't move past them not being together, and it causes an issue in the current relationship.
Go ahead.
No, I don't mind. You can finish your thought.
I was going to say something else off of observation that I said yesterday in my live is that the reality of it is some of these men just owe their children's mother an apology.
Ooh.
Some of this be fixed with just an apology. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know that I did you wrong. I know that I had you thinking that you and I were going to, be good, or we were going to be in a relationship. So a lot of those strained relationships, an apology can completely mend that relationship. They just feel like, dang, nigga, like, excuse me, I'm sorry to say that.
Negro.
I don't have those issues, but I remember with my ex-husband, when I tell you he nipped it in the bud, you know what I mean, when it came to respect. And a lot of these baby mamas are disrespectful to the wives and the significant others because they're allowed to.
Right. No,
but when you a man that, hey, a decision has been made, it's not allowed anyway.
I done knocked my whole little setup over. Got all excited over here. Okay, so Triumphant has a question. He says, so should the guys take the same stance? And it's hard because there's a delay, so let me know which stance you're referring to so we can make sure we answer it correctly. Now, I'm going to say this before. What was that?
He's probably asking about the same stance when it comes to a woman that has a baby daddy.
A toxic. Okay. So, yeah, because you're taking all that on. That's a whole thing. All right, so just so you guys know, for the guys who are watching, I'm actually very excited about this. So next week's topic is going to be women who refuse to take any accountability. So they won't own their part. Men are always to blame. They refuse to say sorry, or if they do, they have to have a gun to their head. That is the conversation. So guys, if y'all are feeling a little pressure tonight, you're going to be validated next week, okay? We are going to unpack that, and it is going to be, it's going to be interesting. I've got some guys who are going to be joining me, and we'll be having a very candid conversation. All right, so I want to get into this topic of dating without titles. Oh, he says cheating. So cheating, so you're saying should the guy have the same stance where he doesn't give her a chance if she's ever cheated? It sounds like that's what you're saying, I'm assuming.
Ooh, that's a good one, though, because you have to think about it. When women cheat, it's emotional. So it's,
not all the time.
Typically.
I'll say typically, though, yeah.
There's some hard women out here.
Not all the time, just like don't cheat, and like they get emotionally connected sometimes too, but you're right. It's not all the time, but 9 times out of 10, it's some emotional.
She had an emotional affair. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just some nookie.
Risk because it's emotional.
Right. All right. So have any of you ladies seen the video? I don't want to make any assumptions before I start jumping into it, but the titles video, it just was out yesterday, so I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
I have not yet.
Okay. So the my thesis, but the theory that I was explaining was, I said this: when we get in relationships and it's the boyfriend-girlfriend title, we are getting into a commitment. We call it a committed relationship, right? So you went from just dating and now you get into a committed relationship. My theory is that if you do that, you're actually practicing a bad habit. Because what you're saying is, I'm committing to somebody only until I don't commit anymore, which is actually not a commitment. So just let that sink in, because I know that's like very out there. Here's the alternative. What if we actually didn't take on the title? We were nobodies. I'm not so-and-so's girl. He's not my dude. But instead, we continued upon the path of getting to know each other. And when you've known each other well enough, you then could get engaged. Triumphant, have a good evening. He said, great combo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate the conversation and the likes and the engagement. That was awesome. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. And please subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so already. So here's my thought. So let's say I date a guy and I'm feeling the warm mushies. We seem like we're compatible. I'm excited. We're 3 months into dating. And he's like, let's make this official. What it does is it allegedly takes me off the market. But if I'm already into him, I'm already seeing him exclusively anyway, and vice versa. And 2, it makes me feel good because it's like, pop my collar, oh, I'm his. And it's cute to be called somebody's girlfriend. But the reality is, he could meet someone the next day, like her more than me, and just say the words, I don't want to be with you anymore. We don't actually have a commitment.
Or not say it, but his actions display.
Right.
So we are committing ourselves to this person, and we're training ourselves to be committed, and like we're in these relationships. And then I say in the video, is it no wonder that people have a hard time committing in a marriage? Because we've had this habit of getting with this person, and then we're staying as long as we feel good. The reason people break up, and you think about all the people you've ever broken up with, 9 times out of 10, it's because we've uncovered information. Information that time would have told us. It's not the norm, in my opinion, for a normal breakup to be something crazy like he had a hidden family in Minnesota or, you know, he flipped the switch and became abusive. Most people say, I saw red flags, but I thought it wasn't a big deal, or we just never discussed that. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, it's very out there, what I'm putting out there, but... What's that?
That's a good thought. That's a good perspective, actually.
I've done that anyway.
What's that?
Really?
Yeah, my grandmother always taught us that we're single until we are married.
You're single until you're married.
And dating isn't a word that I use. If we're seeing each other, we're seeing each other. Or if we are mingling, adult mingling, then that's what we're doing until you display that you can see, you put the ring on it. My grandmother has always taught us that we are single until we are either engaged or married.
And for the guys watching this who think that that's me giving women a pass to just see all these other people, I don't mean that. I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing one thing through. Because the initial stage, when no one's really stood out, I'll talk to multiple people. But when a guy steps up and he's really making strides, he's going to have my attention. Just for me, I don't have a desire to talk to other people when you have as my dad would call it, nose wide open.
Exactly.
So if you have my attention, and this is where I caught myself, because I'll be telling myself, I found myself catching emotions and catching feelings, and I wanted to say things like, I love you, and I want to be somebody's girlfriend. And I realized something, and let me know if you can relate. I realized, no, Yonci, you don't love this man. You love how he makes you feel. Because love is an action, and love is what you say when you enter into a commitment that says, no matter what happens, I'm sticking by your side till death do us part. And Lord knows we are not doing that in dating relationships. We are sticking around until he pisses you off or does something that you just really are not a fan of, and we end it. And I just wonder how radically different dating would be if there wasn't this feeling of complacency, like, oh, she's my girl now, and now you're, 6 years in, you're just girlfriend, boyfriend. I think people give that verbal commitment. One, they get nothing in return. And
it's cock blocking. Let's just call it what it is. It's cock blocking.
It is.
And honestly, what was I going to say? I'm not as easy to bring someone into my space. I'm a transparent person. You can talk to me. I'm open, very open-minded. But to bring you into my world where I want to focus on you, you've earned that. So a lot of people that I have seen or have been with have had my full-on attention and have had several chances to get it together because I did genuinely love them. Because when I brought them into my space, it was a decision that I made that I want you in my world. Mm-hmm. I can have a conversation with you all day and night and not want you in my world.
And I want you guys to think about this, and those of you in the comments, let me know your thoughts too, because like I said, this is very out there. But just think about if titles were just gone, like for whatever reason, you couldn't use them anymore. It didn't mean anything. How long do you think you would need to know somebody before you gave them an actual commitment, which would be a commitment to get married? How long do you think is enough time? For me personally, I feel at the minimum a year. I like to say I want to see you in all seasons, and I don't mean literally, but I want to see you in all seasons. I feel like people show all their seasons typically in a span of about a year. How long would you guys say that you feel you would need to know somebody before you could say, I can commit to them for the rest of my life?
It just depends on how quickly that particular relationship progresses. Mm-hmm. Because I have gotten to see people's seasons within 2 or 3 weeks because I'm a communicator. I talk.
Wait, let me make sure I understand this correctly. You're saying that within 2 weeks you would have known that you could spend the rest of your life?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I have seen.
Oh, to eliminate
red flags and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should flip the question. But how long will it take you to want to commit to them? So
it's hard to say. I could say 4 or 5 months. I mean, I think that if the relationship progresses that quickly, that's why I brought up that I've seen a few seasons in 2 or 3 weeks, because if it progresses that quickly, then I could see myself committing to someone in 4 to 5 months if that relationship moved that quickly. If I got to know them and have seen different ins and outs of their lives, and they've gone through a few things, and I've seen how they maneuvered them. You can see that in less than a year. So
I got engaged after 3 months, so no judgment.
I would hate to put a time limit on something just because I want to be comfortable with that time. I think anytime I personally put a time restraint on something, it's because I'm uncomfortable with anything shorter than that.
I guess for me, after having been married and divorced, and for me, for those wondering, I don't think that there was anything new that I learned about my partner, my husband, after getting married, so I did have adequate information. It's just that the information, I should have dealt with it differently.
You didn't process it.
Yes, we weren't as Look, knowing myself now, because at the time I didn't know myself, but knowing myself now, I would have known we are not compatible and that I wasn't ready. But I feel, having been divorced and being 40, now almost 41, much closer to 41 than 40, I feel like there's such a respect for time. And there's such a respect for the institution of marriage. And this isn't taking away from what you said in any way. This is a totally separate statement. Just for me, I kind of had this epiphany, about a month ago, marriage is a big deal. You really, not that I didn't think it was before, but it's when you understand what's at stake, you realize how important it is to really get to know the person. And I think that so often we get caught up in the emotions, and especially as women, we get attached to the person's potential. We see what they could be rather than what have you consistently showed me on a daily basis.
Who are you? Right.
Who are you right now? And then also, just having gone through things. Have you seen them when they struggled financially? Have you seen them when they had a loss? Have you seen them when they were really happy and they were feeling successful? Because some people become assholes when they're successful. Some people become assholes when they're unsuccessful. So it's it's not out of fear, but it's I realize I really need to thoroughly see this person. And I also have been practicing and dating so much more self-control because, sorry for the monologue, you guys, but this is something that's heavy on my heart. Those of you who have known me for a while know I am a hopeless romantic. And I can be smitten and, oh my God, I think this and that, da-da-da. And after seeing so many trials and errors, it's a lot of times it's the emotion that is the exciting thing. Thank you for joining us, Trinicia. It's the emotion that's the exciting thing, and the initial encounter, and also the wanting to not be alone. You want your partner. But the reality is 2 months down the line, you break up over something that if you had waited, you would have found out that person was that way. And you wouldn't have to break up because you wouldn't have been in a relationship. So just interested. What are your thoughts, ladies? That haven't shared.
Stories about within 6 months, I knew I wanted to marry her. So like Jennifer said, it just depends on how progressive the relationship goes. But even now, because my mom is a firm believer, if after a year and a half pushing it, definitely not to 2. If you haven't put a ring on it, you're not serious. Why are we dating? Let's just end it now because clearly we're not going anywhere.
You got me on layaway.
Right. We're not about to be engaged for 6 years without, a legitimate reason.
I don't understand that.
Right. No.
Especially the ones that have children already. That I really don't understand. Because at this point, it's just now
blocking. That's all that is.
Right. You're just trying to keep me off the market, and I'm making a lesson because you're being greedy. No.
Yeah.
Let me end this so I can go get someone who's more serious.
And when I say people with kids, I don't mean people who independently have kids. Like, because I'm a single mom now. I'm talking about if you already created a family and you're waiting. Like, that I don't understand. It's like you're already, especially you're living together. It's just like.
You're already committed at this point.
Yeah. It's just a formality at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting. Well, I'm curious to see what the good people of YouTube have to say. Go ahead and check out that video if you guys haven't done so already. It's called Dating Without Titles. I don't know. But I think I definitely think that plays a part. I think that people get caught up in the emotions. They get this title on as girlfriend, boyfriend. They don't really know the person, and therefore they back out. And then I think it puts a lot of fear on people, because if you've dated somebody and they just keep ghosting you, or they break up after just a few months, it could start to make people uncomfortable, versus if people just slowed down, really got to know each other. You don't have that feeling of, I was in a committed relationship and now I'm not. It was just, I was getting to know somebody that I was attracted to, and we decided it wasn't a good fit. So it's a small change, but I think psychologically it would make a really big difference. And that's what I'm trying to practice right now anyway. So
it puts a lot of, titles put a lot of pressure on relationships. Titles come with responsibility. And to feel entitled to give someone some responsibilities, you're not really learning each other by having those titles. I mean, it makes things more complicated, I think.
Yeah. Interesting. What are your thoughts, Jen? And then I'm going to close out.
I think I would say about a year as well. It takes time to get to know someone, but everyone's getting to know someone, because it also depends on how much time you spend with this individual. Because I can sit here and say it took me, 6 months? 6 months, and we're still, as time goes by, it's like we're still taking time to learn each other and everything like that. So, but I would say about a year.
Yeah.
As well. Nothing longer, because like Elizabeth said, if it's going to take longer than a year, then there's no point. You're not serious about the individual. Mm-hmm. So what's the purpose of wasting time?
Right. No, at this point, you're a placeholder, in my opinion. Yeah, you're on that layaway plan.
Right.
I don't know if you're coming to pick up collect the last items. I don't want to just sit on the shelf. Well, I appreciated you guys giving me your thoughts, dealing with all of my technical issues, especially those of you on the East Coast. My God, and Central Time Zone, it's a lot later for you. Over here in Cali, it's only 7:30. So Jen and I still have the whole night ahead of us. But
yes, we do.
Yes, but I appreciate. While you were gone, I was explaining to them how we take somebody seriously when they're saying they're going to start a business, and I was saying how you've gotten on me like, ma'am, you don't ever go out and do anything. Jen can attest to the fact that I have zero life right now during the startup phase, but that's how you know someone's serious.
All about business.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna block me at one point. I'm like, I promise I'll be a good friend after a year.
So I would never.
Ah, you're so sweet. You've been a day one. All right, ladies. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up and close on out. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are able to come back.
Thanks for having me.
Yay, this was fun. Hope you guys liked it watching as well. All right, guys, let's see if I can finagle this this system. My little mouse was not working. All right, so let's try to get into it. All right, you guys. So we're just gonna deal with this. We're gonna deal with this. You just gotta laugh and go through it. Okay, got this camera. Sorry for the lighting, you guys. It's terrible right now. But I wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, everybody who took a moment to like the video and subscribe. I appreciate that. I'm over here trying to finagle this, you guys. This is just too much. All right, so let's see. Okay, I wanted to tell you guys about my Sunshine Club. I promise I have it more together in my Sunshine Club because I'm not learning new equipment. But basically what my Sunshine Club is, it's an online community where I give you, it's not like one-on-one coaching, that's a different service, but this is more of a group setting. And so we do daily check-ins. I know everybody's individual goals. When they come in, I get the information from them to see what they're trying to do. And then I check in daily. We do our meditations, we do our workouts, and then every Tuesday we have a group meeting, and it's been awesome. I've seen people go from being in a very, very depressed state to just feeling on top of the world in just, you know, as soon as 2 or 3 weeks. So it's really awesome. If you guys want to look into that, there's a link in my bio. You can get more information. It's also on Instagram. You can follow that page as Sunshine Club 143. And you can get more information there. But the best bet is to click the link in the bio, and you guys have access to that. I also want to let you guys know that if you have a business that you want to advertise, actually I had somebody commenting last week who had a spice company. If you guys want to advertise, you can get in on the ground floor. The amazing thing about YouTube that I say every week is that the content is evergreen. It's not like a radio spot where if somebody just wasn't listening to the radio at that time, they just missed it, or TV, it's going to pass them by. Video is permanent, and so anybody who watches to the end of time will hear your advertisement. So if anyone wants to hit me up, you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Chasing Yonci. You can find me there. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys this evening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around even with all my glitches. I really hope that this week I can kind of figure out all my technology. Thank God there's no, let me know, but I don't think there was any glitching for you guys this time because I got a brand new system. Who knew that the internet and systems were connected? I didn't know that. I thought internet was just internet. So that's that, but I appreciate you guys so much. And until next time, tell someone that you love them.